Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Kdog. It is Wednesday, so that means KdogAfterDark. Tonight, as you just saw, we have a couple lovely people with us. In the top over here, we have iCharlie, of course, filled in this evening, played by Shredder OG. That's her understudy this evening. Is Shredder filling in?
Me.
Yes. Which is kind of nice because we haven't had Shredder on the show in a while, so it's nice to have him back. But yeah, I didn't feel like changing the intro video and all that. That's just way too much time and effort by the time that last minute. So she wasn't feeling well, so we got Shredder to kind of fill in to chat with us this evening. And then of course we have Took back on show as well. The fool Took, you know. I just call her Took. It's just 10 times easier. Yeah. So welcome everybody back to the show. This is kind of it's technically our third show over on Twitch, but at the same time, it's kind of our second because last week we went an hour into the show and then my internet decided to take a shit. So I was not happy. So tried to do it like twice. Yeah, and it was just not a good experience. It was one of those days I was already in like a bad mood, so it was just like
just over the top.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was already like forcing doing the web show last week. Like it was nice, because I love DQ and Pop. It was great, but it was just like, all right, I'll trudge through, get the web show out. I got to make sure that it's working great over on Twitch, and then like hour in, internet dies. 10 minutes later, comes back. Try it again. It dies after another 2 minutes, and then my internet is like off until like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like it died, and it was like the 5th time and it died in like the past 2 weeks.
Was it maintenance or what? Did you figure out what it was?
I think just locally, there according to when I talked to him, there's some type of header ingest something that's near me that has been fucking up. So that they even had like a night. What was it this past Monday, where they shut it down for like to replace the whole thing. So whether that actually fixes it in the long run, we'll see. I'm not happy. I still am trying to get them to give me a credit because like I told them, I'm arguing with them. I'm like, you guys are literally cutting into what is my job right now. Like I'm paying for this shit and I can't use my goddamn internet.
It doesn't work. Trust me, because living in Northern California, they cut our power off to like prevent wildfires during high wind days, right? So they're like, oh, we're going to cut your power. You're going to be living like a week without power, right? They don't care. Like you could be like, you're ruining like my, like you said, this is my job. Are you going to take a little bit off our bill or what? No, because it's a safety thing. Do you want to be alive or do you want like money taken off your bill? I was like, both.
Yes. The answer is yes. Mean? Yes, I do.
Like, how much food we waste? Yeah. Like, when you guys do that shit, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah. But so far, knock on this nice solid wood desk that I have now. We're looking good. The past couple days have been good, so we'll see. I have a K-Cat attacking things right at my feet. That's why I keep looking down. Like she keeps tagging me. But yeah, anyways, what's new with you guys? Since since we don't have like a special guest to like interview or anything like at the beginning and go over before we get into the news topics, what's new with you guys? What have you been up to? What's going on? What's going on in Tookland the last couple days? You said you were playing Smite earlier. How'd you like that?
I've been watching my friend play it for a couple weeks, streaming it, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna try it and download it, and then I played it till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then as soon as I got up this morning, I was on it. So
nice.
Quite like it. It's a nice not think you're smashing smash.
The nice thing, especially over here on Twitch, I think that was always one of my things that I was thinking about, like streaming even before like Mixer closed down, like doing a little bit of Twitch thing back when I did a lot more Smite, is that there's actually this is where the Smite community is, if there is anything, because also it's where League of Legends is and all that. But most people who are going to watch or hang out like Smite wise are here. There weren't nearly as many on Mixer and that, so
which was weird to me because League isn't on Xbox, so you would think that there would be a few more people for Smite on Mixer.
Yeah, because it was on Xbox and they had the points and all that, and it was like okay, but it wasn't anything. All the esports side of those people, they all streamed over on here on Twitch, so it was like anybody was going to watch it.
A lot of them got kicked when they had all that the 24-hour viewing, get points for it too.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I was not happy with it and all that, and I was, a semi-recurring Smite streamer. It was insane. But it's always nice to,
Yeah.
I miss Smite sometimes, and then other times I'm like, I don't miss this at all. But I do have that hankering to go play it every once in a while. But
I was gonna say it's like me and Call of Duty.
Mhm.
Like I've recently just been getting back into that a little bit, and I'm like, the first day I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I haven't played this in this long. This next day I'm just like, I remember why I don't play this that much.
I'm done. Yeah, it's like you have like 2 days for it. So, and then of course,
I mean, it's still fun though. I have a blast.
And then me and Shredder were playing Gunfire Reborn. I
Still
randomly
playing it
found
right
that.
now?
Yeah, we found this yesterday and played like 12 hours straight of it. That's
amount.
a lot of fun. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll probably be playing it later.
I'm telling you, this
it's
game needs to be
Borderlands
more-
meets like Risk of Rain, kinda. It's a lot of fun.
It's Borderlands without all the bullshit dialogue.
Because it's it's a rogue game, so it's like you reset, binding eyes, it's all that kind of stuff, but then you have perm like abilities or like passives, so you can level up your character as you're going, but each time you go in you have different perks that you're picking up, different weapons and all that in your dungeon run. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, because there's no strat for it either. It's not like you're like, oh, I'm gonna run this round and see what like it's all randomized.
Yeah, whatever you can get. I hope I get this perk.
Right.
I hear puppies.
Woof woof.
All of the
Yeah,
puppies.
I'm trying to mute as fast as I can as
you're
soon as
good.
they start barking.
You're good.
No, but yeah, no, like I like the fact when I'm running it solo, it's easier. Like the enemies are definitely melty. But I like the fact that when you're with a group, you have a better chance of getting your build because people can drop stuff for you, like
Yeah, pick up and
if
drop.
I pick up a corrosion, if I pick up a corrosion scroll and you need it, like we can buff one person and they could be our tank, which is really neat.
What's up? What's up, Ryan? Crimson, everybody who's out there, as we're getting started, welcome. If you haven't been here to the web show before, hi, yes, I see you. I love you. You're amazing. She wants so much attention right now. And you guys are amazing too. I was talking to you, not the cat. I promise. We'll just say.
That's just how it is. Like my dogs will be quiet all day. As soon as I put the green screen up and the light goes on, they're like, okay, he's trying to do something important. Let's fuck him up.
Let's distract him.
Right.
But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with the show, of course, we see the chat. Obviously, we're going to be responding to the chat. But if we don't respond right away because we're talking about something, we're not going to cut each other off. So don't be offended. I do have the link up in the section up in the Discord if you want to post anything that we don't cover in chat. Feel free to repeat yourself. It's okay. But if there's anything that we gloss over, or if you want more information on, when we get to the end of the show, I always do kind of like a little Q&A thing. So definitely post it in there if there's anything you want a little more clarification on as we're moving through the show, as we're getting started. But yeah, like I said, any love, things like that. Can you stop? Please. Thank you. As we're going through the show, if we don't respond to you, we do see it. I promise. We love you guys. We're just doing the recording for the talk show and everything as well, /podcast /YouTube /whatever you want to call this. I call it like 17 different things. But yeah, it's news, web show, podcast thing, stuff. It's Kdog After Dark.
Daily dose of Kdog.
Yeah, exactly. Weekly dose of Kdog and wine. So I'm finishing a nice, lovely little Pinot Noir that I opened the other day, so I'm happy. Even though I just cracked it open, I was sipping coffee in the pre-show when we're setting it all up. So, as always, this is gonna mix great in my stomach as I'm standing
I was
here.
gonna say, yeah.
That's a lot of acid.
Coffee and then
It's
some
gonna be
wine to top
great.
it
I'm gonna have to take a really nice long poop at some point. It's gonna be amazing. All right. As we're getting into this, hold on, let me grab my notes now that we're kind of doing it. Stuff on the show tonight. Valorant, if you guys didn't see it, new agent teaser trailer got dropped. We'll talk about that, of course. And then a main focus of the show is going to be the recap of the Xbox thing, kind of talk about the different things from the Xbox show that was last Thursday as well, going over all of that stuff. But a couple other things, but overall, not a very busy news week. I scoured through a lot of things. You guys know some weeks are busier than others. This week, not so much, but it works out so that way we can spend a little more time talking about the Xbox show. So those will be coming up later on towards the end of the show, the Valorant and the Microsoft thing. and we'll get to those. But getting right into it, announced this week, if you have not seen, CupHead is now out on PS4. If you have not ever played CupHead and you are a PS4 person, get it. Just fucking do it. CupHead is amazing.
I didn't know it wasn't.
It was originally launched. It was an Xbox exclusive, and then it went to like PC and all that. It's fucking amazing. Just do it if you've never done it. It's drawn. It's all hand drawn in like that 1930s cartoon style. It's a just a shooter, arcade shooter. So much fucking fun. But it was launched this week on PS4. Have you guys both played CupHead or no?
I've beaten it a few times. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have CupHead, but I've watched many of people rage to it.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's fantastic.
it is so rage worthy. Like it's a gorgeous game and it's so much fun. But let me tell you, when I downloaded it, I beat it the first day, but I stayed up so long because there was like the second to last boss fight. I probably spent about 3 hours on and almost threw the controller a couple times. Like I was like, no, I'm beating this fucking game.
You know me in platforming. And the game's not really a platformer, but it's got its
a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, and there was times where I was dying to falling off of stuff more than the enemies, and I was just like, I hate everything about this game.
Dude, it's so much fun. It's so hard, but it's so good. I didn't see that there was the DLC thing, but with the launch of this, there's actually it's really cool. I'm gonna pull it up here. It's really cool, really fucking creepy as well.
So creepy.
If you have not seen it, and of course, Shredder, you can turn up the audio and all that. Oh, I need to pause my music. There we go. So this is launched with the PS4 side of it on YouTube. I got these guys over here. Kind of
like a little delayed.
Yeah, you're good. Well, shrink took down a little bit, so there's a little. I think I might not have audio here. I had to adjust like the audio. Why are you? There we go. Here, we'll restart it so that way everybody. It's a stop motion video.
Stuffing away. What does the cup have to say?
I wanna play. Whoop.
Gather round, hear what I have to say. Happy news I bring to you today. Oh yes, it's here on the PlayStation, dear. Don't you wanna have a hoot?
I do.
So come with me, we'll work assiduously. Now hear this. It's outright. Now. Oh, yeah.
That is creepy as fuck, but I love it. I fucking love it. I know Shredder's probably a couple seconds we want to watch it.
It reminds me of these old the Christmas movies that we were talking about.
Yeah, we're talking because it's like the stop motion. Yeah,
Gumby.
Yeah, Gumby. Anything stop motion like I love. I just always think of Robot Chicken also because it's the only thing like recent. But yeah, like stop motion like that. And I was actually in the articles and everything reading about this. You actually they talked about when they filmed the stop motion. It's not even in editing. If you look at like that whole little video and all that announcing it for the PS4, they didn't even do all that vintage looking editing. They actually just used like the style of camera and the lens that gave it that look. And if you're watching the video close enough, you can actually see like the framework and everything even for it. So it's not post edited to look like that. That is actually it's just straight up old school, taking a picture and putting it all together and just letting it ride. So they didn't like edit in that look or anything like that, which is really cool. Really,
there's a lot of ways to cheat that now.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays you can kind of like do certain things and all that. But yeah, they definitely have a passion for their craft. That's why when the game originally came out, it was delayed an extra 6 months or something like that, I want to say. I remember waiting for it and it got pushed back because they just weren't happy with where it was yet.
Now, I haven't played CupHead in a while. Is there a lot of content left in it, or did they release this for PlayStation because they were probably running out of money?
I feel like they released it. So like Ryan just said a thing about DLC. Yeah, it kept getting delayed by like a lot of years, but I know like right towards the end they were like within like a couple weeks of launching it, I think, and then like pushed it back like 6 months or something like that because I was like ready to play it. Like I'm like, cool, 2 weeks or something like that, and it's like, oh no, we're pushing back. But yeah, amazing. I would love to see. They've been talking about doing like DLC or more stuff for it. This might just be one of those scenarios where they're like, hey, we're going to release this on PS4 now after all this time. Get, you know, like you said, maybe get a little bit more money and all that, but then build up the drive to maybe be like, hey, here's new levels, here's new DLC, here's new game. Like that could be a thing.
I was supposed to say Cuphead. Okay, so like, you know me and my games. I like games where, you know, like DBD. That game has been around for how long? And
4 years? 4 years?
yeah, and it's never been like, oh, DBD 2's coming out. They just add DLC, and it's just like, you know, I feel like Cuphead is one of those games that could do that, where they're like, oh, new levels, you know, we're just gonna add, because it's this, there's no graphics, you know, it's not like you need to update in graphics because, like you said, it's that old animation.
It just takes a long ass time to draw that shit.
Yeah. So what they could do is they could come out with like a DLC where it's like 3 new levels.
Yeah, and I think that's what they plan. Like chat was just saying, Ryan was just saying is, I have heard, but I haven't heard anything. That's why I don't want to comment on it. But I haven't heard anything definitive about DLC. It's always been like, hey, there's DLC. It's a thing. It's gonna happen at some point. But I haven't seen anything saying this is a projected time, this is what's going on, you know, that type of thing.
I feel like that's such a dumb thing to do nowadays too, like giving a date of release, you know, because things get pushed back, you know. So I mean,
they're very upset about getting it pushed back now. No, it's true. It's true. It's hard, especially, I mean, even not in the COVID era, it's hard to, you know, have those hard deadlines. And I get that you want people to be excited and all that kind of stuff, but we talked like last week or 2 weeks ago about the Amazon, like their MMO, that New World, that MMO that they had, that they ended up like still have like early access, and if you were signed up for it, the original launch date, you can still play what it was, but after their alpha feedback, they literally are pulling it and adding, like, they're going to now be coming out spring of next year because they just didn't feel after the feedback that it would launch well, that they weren't comfortable with it. And I, as much as like I was, you know, just using it as an example, it would be nice to play that game, I have much more respect for a company saying, hey, this game isn't where it should be, we're going to pull it back, because that's not easy to do and convince your investors. Yeah, you know, it's hard to convince
Watch
investors.
Dogs, Legion.
Yeah, so many of them. It would be great just to be like 6 months, but you know, those bigger companies, a lot of the times they're like, no, we need to push this out. We gave you money to make this game. We need
Christmas.
to start.
We want the money.
Yeah, we need to start seeing some kickback. So I have a lot of respect for any companies that are just like, hey, it's not quite there yet. You know, like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, but like I said, like Watch Dogs Legion, that messed with my emotions because I've been super excited for that, you know. And then when you check on it daily to see the date, you know, and then they're like, oh, it's pushed back, you're like, okay, you know, that'd be like Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, that comes out in what, 8 days, 9 days,
yeah.
You know, and you're just like, I'm super stoked for that. If they were to be like, oh, it's gonna be pushed back another month, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, that'll be. I can't wait to play that on PC. That's another one that'll be
I know.
fun.
I have it pre-installed, like ready to go. Super stoked.
But yeah, again, PS4. If you have a PS4 and have not played this game, get your shit together. Go play it. It's out, and also just watch that the stop motion thing. That's a lot of fun. It's definitely very rage inducing, but I'm sure as Ryan, sure anybody else, a lot of people out there in chat, these guys can testify. It's rage inducing at times, but there's
no better
so
feeling
good.
though beating those.
And that's the thing,
games.
like, it's satisfying. Like when you actually beat that boss, it's not an easy game, but when you beat that boss and you actually get to move on, it's like, oh my god, this is great.
Have you ever played Getting Over It? Have you ever tried that?
It sounds familiar, but I have not. I feel like
Getting Over It's that mountain climbing where you're in a kettle pot and all you have is a hammer, and you basically use your mouse to like wheel around, and you You use your mouse to control
Oh
the
yeah,
the
yeah,
sledgehammer.
yeah, and then you like hook up and over. Yeah, I've never played it, but
Dude,
yeah.
that game, I've beaten it once, and it was just one of those things where you're in the middle of it, and so many things can go wrong. You know, one little mess up and you're done. You know, and that game was one of those games where I was just like, holy shit.
You
when
get
I beat
done,
it, I
you
was
crack open, like yeah, that's when you pour that
You're just
night
like,
that really good scotch afterwards, and you're like, I
Yeah.
deserve a fucking celebration after this, you know? Fuck that 50-year retirement party. I just
Yeah, then
beat
it's-
Cuphead.
It's like what Ryan said. It's narrated by the guy who made it,
Mm-hmm.
and he just taunts you the whole. Like when you fall, he's all, "Oh, so you're back here again," and it's just like, "Shut up, shut up, you shut your
Leave
mouth."
me alone.
Right. And then like a bunch of other companies made like different versions of it. Like there's golfing over it, where you're clicking a ball and you got to get it. There's so many different variants of the game.
Nice.
I think that would be a good one for you to try. I think that you're the type of person that would have the endurance and patience to knock those games
I'm
out.
patient for like one day, and then I'd be, you know,
Yeah,
I'd make sure I
no.
got it done, and then I'd be like, yeah, we're never touching this shit again. Fuck this game.
Exactly.
But I beat
exactly.
it. I fucking beat it. Just to be
Right.
like, check, done. You know. But yeah. That's really all I had on Cuphead. Any other closing remarks, comments,
No,
questions, concerns?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see like if it picks up again.
Yeah,
like,
that's
people
hopefully
that-
DLC or something.
My PS4.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I have every console. I usually buy every console, but
Every console.
with all the new stuff coming
What's
out,
a console? Who uses consoles anymore? I mean, I have it too, but I
know.
mean, it's like
it literally for exclusives.
Yep.
Like that's why I'm hoping with this new era that everything is just going to be cross-plat. You know, no more exclusives. I think they're starting to, you know, like I said, with Horizon Zero Dawn coming out for PC, that gives me hope that they're gonna be like, you know what, fuck exclusives. You know, let's make it for everything. Like,
Yep, and that's how it should be. Yeah, that's the testing waters. Sony is kind of the last holdout, but they're testing it, and it'll do fine on PC. Like, I mean,
well, it's like MLB The Show. That's a PlayStation exclusive, and it's coming out for Xbox for the next gen. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're branching out now because
Yeah.
Xbox for some reason doesn't have a right to any MLB game, which I don't understand that.
I mean,
PlayStation,
but they have Forza. We'll talk about that later.
That's true.
Anywho, Cuphead PS4. If you haven't played it, go. If you have PS4, go get it. If you have all the other systems, it's out on those already. So you should have already played it by now. But you know, get your shit together. Anyways, other new, more 20,000 things that have continued to leak from all of Nintendo. I don't really want to call it like a security breach because it's not like a hardcore like security breach where they're getting access to files, but we are continuing to find like constantly hackers are getting into old Nintendo and finding old Nintendo source files. And this has been happening all year long. We've talked about it here and there as certain things have come out. So we've gotten these past 2 weeks, more source files and things have come out. Like I said, not like user information or anything like that, which is like, that's why I kind of am hesitant to call it like a breach, you know, because it's not like a security breach sounds bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, like they are hacking into their thing, but I feel like, at least for me personally, and you guys could agree or disagree, I don't know, but like when I hear like Nintendo security breach, like I think like the user profiles, like the type of thing like with that happened with PlayStation, where you have
What are you
people's
gonna do to my Animal Crossing?
yeah, well, yeah, like people's credit cards and shit like that, like getting
I was gonna
hacked.
say,
Not
that's more of what I get worried about when someone says like, oh, it's been breached. I'm like, okay,
that
let me
credit
go
card that's
call my
linked up.
bank account and
Yeah, what's going on with
Let me
that?
change that password.
Yeah.
right.
So like this, like it is a breach, but not like that. So, but this is something that's been going on all year, kind of, you know, that they've had these source files, and I think it's just because of older things transferred over. We talked about that way back in the day with Nintendo changing over some things. But recent more Nintendo Data Leak, couple exciting things from that old school stuff that we have found. A lot of it, like I said, historic data, but SNES source codes for Star Fox 2, which they actually found. Of course, that was re-released, not re-released, but Star Fox 2 was released with that this SNES Mini or SNES Small Mini, whatever it was officially called, the portable whatever that came out. the SNES thing. So they did release Star Fox 2 there, but the original source code for that has all been filed, including the original developers, like the commands and the whole files that he used to just write everything. And it's funny, like on Twitter, he was talking about how I haven't seen this in like 12 years. How the fuck did you, or like 15 years? How the fuck did you guys find this? Like I wrote this to teach myself programming. Like, you know, so Star Fox 2, sprite codes from Super Mario of Luigi giving the actual person who was playing it the middle finger, and I actually have that pulled up. It's kind of hard to see, but I think it's fucking hilarious, and I really wish this would have been in the game because I want this Luigi to be canon. Like I want Luigi to just be like, hey, you're an asshole. Like, you know, to the actual like character and like Mario and all that. Like I think it's probably was just a developer.
He deserves it.
Yeah. I like that. I want like snarky Luigi who knows he's like an underdog and like the second guy, but he's not like a passive second guy. He's like, now Mario's a dick. He doesn't deserve the spotlight. Like that's a Luigi that I want, you know. But yeah, there's so it has like all these other things. So there's a couple of different things like that, but they have like all these other source sprite files and everything that they originally drew for him. I thought that one was the best though. Evolution, hold on, wait, where's the I gotta pull it up here really quick. The evolution of Yoshi also was something that was found. I thought I had that pulled up, but it looks like I accidentally closed it. Give me 1 second. It's amazing. Definitely worth. Here we go. So as opposed to original, there we go. Wrong button. There we go. Let me redo this. So, original Yoshi. And then how he transformed, like the different sprites and how they changed him over. The original one
Oh my god.
was super like
terrifying.
scrawny and like Velociraptor looking. And then
Looks like a
like
dodo bird.
yeah, like what the fuck is that? Like that.
Giraffe, dodo, bird.
Yeah, it reminds me of something, and I can't put my finger on what it was. Like, it's a dodo bird, but it's got to be like a Pixar character or something like that in my head. Like, I actually have like a character in mind. Yeah, it's just like, I'm not upset with the character model though. Like, I think that's kind of cool, but it definitely gives it more of a
I get
comic
why
look.
they did that though, because Mario like
yeah.
uses them as like a mount, but yeah, that was just weird looking.
Especially how we see him
Cut it and
now.
make cute sounds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, how we see him now in comparison to then is just like, all right, that's just weird. He went from this small little like scrawny dodo bird looking thing to this like not jacked but just like beefy, like he was a small lanky kid to
Shoes.
yeah, you know, just like he put on some weight, you know. He was not like consistently working out, but you know, he started taking some protein shakes, just kind of, you know, beefing up a little bit, and I guess decided to, you know, I don't know, stuff cotton balls in his face or something. I don't know.
I say he hit the mushrooms a little too heavy.
Yeah, something. And also, lastly, well, there's going to continue to be stuff that comes out for this, but the other big thing that I saw was in with all the rumors that this has been rumored since fucking the game came out way back, but it was officially found that there is Luigi source code in original Super Mario 64 as a playable character. So all those old rumors about being able to play and having him in there and everything else, yes, they were just rumors, but there was a possibility of that being, he was in the game. There was the files found for that being possible. So every conspiracy theorist or every kid on the playground who said that, you know, you're able to play as Luigi if you do these 17 different steps, they weren't completely wrong. He was in the game, but they were still lying to you to get your Pokemon cards. I'm sorry.
No, not my Pokemon.
It's like when, you know, before we had the interwebs, when we had to do the books, like the Nintendo guides, then you had the magazines with like all the rumors, and you would have the kids on the playground like finding Mew in the original Pokemon game. Speaking of Pokemon, for you, and the, like the truck that was on
Yeah.
Cerulean Way, like It was Cerulean, right? God, I remember way too much about this shit. It was like the Cerulean way, like that truck that was on the pier. Like if you did certain
Yeah.
things, Mew would appear there. That wasn't a
We all
thing,
did them.
but we all
wanted Mew.
tried.
We all did them.
Yeah, we all tried. It fucking, you know, and that was like a schoolyard rumor that just fucking took off. Like I don't know, but what were you saying, Shredder? I think I cut you off. I was rambling.
No, you're good. I was trying to think, like, when you said magazines, I was thinking those gamer, what were they? The game guides or the game? But they had like the magazines, and then there was one section in them that had like, you go to the very back,
Secret
and there was
hidden
just
shit.
yeah, it was like cheat codes.
Mhm.
And it was all listed, you know, and then there was a section for, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and it had all like the up down, you know, and God, what were those called? Game facts?
I don't know. I had a
don't
Game
know.
Genie, which was the one that you plugged into it, and then you plugged
like the
that
Game Shark?
into
Oh, the Game Shark.
Yeah, you plugged
There
it
were
in.
many games with Game Shark.
Well, like the
Yeah, but-
Game Shark was like Game Boy and all that. Like the Game Genie was the one for
No,
NES.
Game Shark was Sega.
Oh no, like I'm talking about
Yeah,
the NES one was like you plugged. Yeah, it was the same thing. Like had the code, the Game Genie, and you plugged the thing into the cartridge, Nintendo cartridge, into the Game Genie into the NES. Hold on, I'm gonna look this shit up so you guys know what I'm talking about here quick. I remember Game Shark. It was the same
I
thing.
got kicked out of a Blockbuster when I was a kid, because I went in there. I went to their little magazine section, right? And I had my notebook that I took out of my backpack, and I was just sitting there writing all the cheat codes out of the magazine, which is technically, you know, I didn't think about it at the time, but technically stealing,
Mhm,
you know.
yeah.
And they were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just getting a few codes that I need." They're like, "You could buy the magazine." I was like, "Why? I got
Yeah, why? I already got everything I want. So you would take.
You think I have money?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
have money.
So you would take. Oh, I don't want to actually open image.
People in chat are like, "What the hell's a Blockbuster?"
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Oh, Blockbuster.
Minecraft.
So like, so this, you would take this, you would plug the Nintendo cartridge into this, and then
Right.
you would plug this into the game, and then you would have to use this fucking terrible like
Why does it have
this-
that
this, like,
weird clamp
image.
on it?
because it would like sit on top, like that's how it helped hold in there because it was too long and it would because it stuck out the front, so it would otherwise
Gotcha.
it wouldn't support it. The cartridge, so it had that as like kind of a support, and then you would have to use this terrible, not even 8-bit little thing to put in the codes that you had to get out of the book to match the game, and you entered these codes into the NES and that.
See, the Game Shark was way better. The Game Shark
it
was
was.
essentially the
Oh,
same thing.
yeah.
You plug the game into the Game Shark, then you plug the Game Shark into your console. But before it started the game, if it was compatible, they would pull up a menu,
Mhm.
you know, and like that's how you turn like paintball mode on for GoldenEye and shit like that.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. I
Yep.
remember that.
Yeah, I remember. I
Invincibility
always remember
and
Game Shark, but I
whatnot.
remember like my first time. Like I feel like I'm pretty sure Game Genie is older. Like I just assume.
Oh, probably.
Because yeah, so that's like my first remember. But yeah, I think I had my Game Shark for. I think I had it for like the Game Boys and all that. I had a Game Shark thing. I don't know. Maybe I had it for NES too. I can't remember. I remember having it. But yeah, there's even as I pulled up the Twitter when we were talking about it, there were a couple other things. Like somebody now has a working kind of demo from the source files of Star Fox 2. From that, not the re-release version, but the actual like original source code. Like this is just something that's going to constantly like keep being talked about. Every couple weeks when big things get seen, I'll talk about it. But yeah, if you go look, there's so much information we talked about like a little while back. Like I think it was like Super Mario stuff compared to like Super Mario 64 as well as playable characters and other things. Like every month or so, this comes up with a new big reveal of somebody found source code for this in an old game and that. So, yeah, it's I think the Luigi thing is probably the biggest thing. So
That and the just Yoshi.
oh
Pick
yeah,
a
the Yoshi, yeah. Yep. Yoshi's evolution in time, you know, from Dodo
I'm
Bird
glad
to
they fixed him. I don't think Yoshi would have been good in Mario Kart if he had the same character.
yeah, I would
model
say
that he has
those legs probably.
originally.
Yeah, I don't
100%.
know
He
that
would've
they.
fit.
No,
Yep. Yeah, that
Would've been
would have
awkward.
that would have been awkward 110%. News that I'm really excited about, although it's going to infringe on me a little bit, and what I do every week, because I pretty much model it after this. If you haven't seen, G4 is coming back, and I'm excited. I am excited. Not that I watch cable TV anymore, but I assume like Attack of the Show and all that will be on. But new teaser was launched at the end of IGN's little live broadcasting that they're doing for Comic-Con. Little minute-long teaser going through. We've always been playing games, and actually here, I had that open before. Let me pull it back up. But IGN, their live broadcast thing, had it with their playing Paul. We've always been playing, and they pretty much announced that G4 is coming back in 2021. And also that same teaser trailer was uploaded to both the Attack of the Show and the X-Play websites as well. And so that's really awesome. If you guys aren't familiar or are younger or didn't watch it, Attack of the Show was kind of what I do every week, like here, but they had like product reviews and nerdy things, and it was just a nerdy gaming.
G4 was a sick channel.
Yeah, G4 was a great thing. So, and then X-Play was just kind of game reviews and that. Attack of the Show was more like a daily. Attack of the Show was this because they had a mix of, had reviews, had people on the show, had the hosts, had games and things like that, and it was a lot of fun. X-Play, I think, was just more kind of like game and peripheral reviews in the comparison between the two. But both of their individual websites and YouTubes also got this trailer for GeForce, so that might be hopes that both those shows are also coming back with the thing. This is kind of being spearheaded rumor-wise by Comcast. Being bought by Comcast, kind of led by Tucker Roberts, the current president of gaming at Comcast, and also the president of the Overwatch League, the Philadelphia Fusion. So that's not official, but that's what's being said. He's the one kind of spearheading this for Comcast relaunching G4. So I'm really excited.
G4 was like what you would watch before streaming was a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, imagine this, but like better in a studio and production quality, and like.
You're all there for Olivia Munn.
Olivia. Now, don't get me wrong. Olivia Munn was great. All right, so Olivia Munn was great. I liked Candace Bailey better. I found Candace Bailey more attractive. She came later after Olivia Munn left, but they were both great. I don't know. I thought Candace Bailey. She was more fun, but I remember my teen years back in the day. No, but Olivia Munn, it was
Before.
And even before that, like what was the show called? I don't know if anybody in chat remembers. Before Attack the Show, before any of that, what was the show that they were all on together before that? Oh, it wasn't even on G4. I can hold on.
I can't remember.
Olivia, hold on. I'm just gonna search Olivia Munn and see where's your Wikipedia at, or IMDb. There we go. Because it's gonna be the old show that they were all on together, and it had Adam on it and Scott and everybody. It was another nerdy show. It was. Olivia, you have way too much stuff. Why are you actually like decent? Like why? All right, hold on.
Does acting now.
I know, like all this acting. Hold on. Yeah, there's X-Play. Hold on. No. All right, hold on. Let me. What was host name was Scott, right? Hold on. It was. What was his name? Scott Riley. God, I'm trying to remember. It's driving me nuts because I'm trying to remember the old show that they were all on together. I'm gonna remember it. Hold on.
Never gonna remember.
No, I'm going to. Hold on. It might actually be in that article that I linked to you guys. Hold on. Or not Scott. It was Kevin. There we go. Kevin Pereira. There we go. I don't know why I had Scott in my head. So. Kevin Pereira. There we go. Yeah, it was like game show host thing. Kevin Pereira. Attack of the Show. What was it called? Screensavers. That's what it was. It was an old show. It was like before Attack of the Show, what it was. It was the same kind of thing, but it was pre-Attack of the Show, and they were all on that together. That's what it was. I'm glad I figured that out because it would have driven me
I'm
nuts.
really glad they're doing Attack of the Show and not screensavers. That has not aged well.
Yeah, not at all, because there's no such thing as screensavers anymore. Like, that ended in 2005, and then they all switched over to this. Here, let me see if I can pull up that video, the little teaser thing. Here we go. I have it. Oop, oop, oop. Like I said, it's not like a huge thing. It's more kind of a little like teaser, but it's kind of cool that like it's like, oh hey, we're back, yay! Like we're doing things. Wonder Twins tights. See, that's all it is, like a little teaser, like announcement thing. Never stop playing, but I don't know. I think that's really cool. Like that's all they need to do. That's a cool little announcement, just kind of saying that hey, we're bringing it back. Because I was sad when they closed it. Not that, like I said, I watch cable TV anymore, but I feel like they're also smart enough that they're going to do most of the stuff like online in some way, shape, or form, or something like that as well. Because I don't feel that
Most people don't have cable TV anymore.
Yeah.
I know they had said they updated their YouTube stuff, so they might do YouTube.
Yeah, they updated their the links apparent to Attack of the Show, everything else. I feel like it's gonna be like probably like live stream show. Like that's what I kind of imagine. Like they're gonna do the show, but it's also gonna be live.
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, who has
They'll do a
cable
streaming
anymore?
service.
Yeah, and I don't.
G4 streaming service.
Yeah,
Because it's like nowadays when your internet provider's like, oh yeah, if you get a landline,
yeah.
you know, if you hook up your landline,
You'll save money if you bundle this with
right,
your
it's like,
landline by.
who the hell has an actual phone in their house?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that
you
hasn't been a
weirdos.
thing in 20 years or like 10 years. Fuck.
Yeah, we had like a fax line for forever, and they're like, "Do you use that?" And we are like, "No, why would we?
Yeah,
We have the internet."
yeah. What? Yeah,
Yeah.
fax line. What is this? Fucking 1997? Like, come on. Here, hold on. Here, let me give you my pager number. Hold on.
Right? Yeah.
I'll get right back to
Get
you.
on my flip phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we put that in my socials? My pager number.
Yeah.
Real quick?
Yeah. Let me update your
Just in case.
socials
Here,
really
here's
quick.
my MySpace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
I'm just gonna adjust every week who's on the web show to be in my top 8, so that way they think that they're special, and then I'm gonna adjust it back every week to have a different top 8 that's on the web show. G4. I'm excited. Like I said, like we just said, I'm curious platform-wise what we think it's gonna be on. I think it's gonna come down to the difference between the actual people on it, knowing like if they're Kevin, Olivia Munn, that kind of thing, Adam Schefter, like all those, like I think that they're gonna be smart enough to know that having it on a TV channel isn't going to last by itself. But if it's some bigwig making the call, reminiscing about, oh, I used to watch this, or my kid used to watch this back in the day, something like that, like, I don't know. I feel like it could be bad if it's like a corporate person just trying to do this to make money, as opposed to somebody and people who actually have passion for our industry. That's the only thing that's holding me back. Like, is this just a grab from corporate people just trying to make money off of
The nostalgia.
yeah, the fad and everything else? Like, oh, everybody's streaming and all that, we should have a
Yeah.
show.
We should do a streaming show. Yeah, I'm just a little worried about like the target audience, because it's really gonna hit us that have seen it, and we know it. We feel that nostalgia for it, but how is it gonna appeal to like the younger kids when they can get so much information elsewhere?
Yeah, and that's that's the right point. Like I said, I feel like if they're gonna have to do it right, something like Attack of the Show, you can't just have it as a daily, 30-minute that's spread into an hour with commercials, a thing on a TV channel. Like, they're gonna have to have episodes that are also live streamed or something like that onto somewhere, like on the internet, because nobody's I have cable because it comes with my fucking condo because it's just part of the HOAs and all that. I have not turned on my TV to watch cable in maybe twice in like the 4 years that I've lived here. Like, I don't.
I think I had
At all.
cable for like Game of Thrones when it originally came on, and then HBO Go came out, so we were just like, we don't need that.
Yeah, there's really no reason to. Yeah, see, like Chat Crimson just said with what Sher was saying about the home phone. It's like the only reason anybody has that is if it actually effectively takes off money off their bill. Like,
Right.
It's like, I'm not gonna pay extra for this shit. No, fuck that. What's up, Bulldog? Everybody, again, if you're coming in, welcome. We see you guys in chat. Feel free to chat it up, say hello. If we're missing or going through anything too quick, of course, you can post in the Discord there. We love you guys. If we don't respond, we still love you and appreciate you. Wait, hold on. Is the thing popping up with you guys? Yeah, there's your links. Okay, I was just making sure the timer was working. Having to make it work for Twitch is still weird for me. But you guys are out there. Make sure anybody who's here, you guys are following. I have to point this way now. I changed things. So that way. I used to point that way. So it throws me off. Because I used to be able to look at the camera and do this. And now I have to kind of like look over my shoulder and do that. It's odd.
I'm trying to think of like other old school talk shows that I used, like not talk shows, but like gaming interactive shows that I used to watch. And like how cool it would be nowadays to have that, where you could actually, if they did a live stream, you could actually ask your questions instead of like sitting there hoping they cover something that you want them to cover.
Yeah, I mean, and you see that kind of with, even I think like ESPN shows and things like that, where they have like the Twitter wall and that live, you use this hashtag, and then they'll have that a live thread of that hashtag going. And there are a lot of the ways that they could do that. They could bring just me on the show, since I do this shit every week anyways, and I can become, really big and popular and famous, and I'd be okay with that as well. That it could work. Just.
Oh, you haven't gotten one of those how to become famous bots yet?
Not yet. I'm just waiting on that email, and we're
I
good.
get them all the time.
I don't know where they come from, but yeah, I get them all the time too.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I don't know why I haven't gotten one yet. Surprisingly, I guess they either think that I'm either
already famous and popular.
I was gonna say it's either one or the other. Either the bots, those troll bots, think I'm already famous, or they're not even gonna be able to help me. That's how bad and far off I am. It could go one or the other. It's like, which way do you want to look at it? It's like, this guy's beyond hope. Yeah, whatever. But G4, if you want, this is Attack of the Show is pretty much what I modeled this. This is like, I always describe that when I like talk about the web show. It's like, this is kind of like Attack of the Show mixed with like, like ESPN, what's the show I'm thinking of, Shredder? I'm blanking right now. Because when we talked about it, and I always referenced it.
Oh my God. The one where they can mute each other, right?
Pardon the interruption, right? Isn't it Pardon the Interruption, or is it the other one?
Well, there's Pardon the Interruption, but then there's ones where they're all in squares.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Fuck, what's the name of
I know,
that?
I'm blanking right now, and I always use that to describe as well.
It's something, is it something Point? But no, I love that show because it's like, yeah, he's like, okay, here's the topic. You four talk about it. If I don't like what you're saying, I'm muting you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's kind of like
and
that.
Then you get points.
Yeah.
You get points for like actually talking factual stuff, and then you get negative points if you're just talking
bullshit.
Out your ass.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that show.
Like that's but that's what I compare to. I'm fucking I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But then like that mixed with, and I always say like interview part and us just hanging out and having fun. Like I always mix it like that mixed with like the Graham Norton show. Like if I had to like what the inspirations for what I want this show to be or what it is in the long run, like it's like all those kinds of things. I mean, well, like I like comparing to the Graham Norton show a little. Yeah, I would say I like the Graham Norton show a little better than The View, because Graham Norton show, they sit there and drink and all that as well, and then he just sits there and they pull up funny clips and they talk about shit and all that. So I'd rather be compared to Graham Norton than The View.
Yeah, pardon the interruptions. The two guys.
Yeah, the other one.
Just
yeah.
Pardon the interruption. They just sit there and like one guy has his thought and they hate each other, which I think would be such a fun show to, like, imagine a talk show with like someone you couldn't stand, you know.
I wouldn't be on it. Well, I don't know if I was getting
Penn and
paid
Teller,
money.
the talk show.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because it's like, you know, the one guy says something and the other one's like, you're an idiot, you know. Like, he's like, I hate you. But we're gonna keep, oh man, whoever
But we're
produced that
getting
show was a
paid,
genius.
and I'm gonna prove that you're an idiot this way. Although that would be kind of fun sometimes, just to be like, no, you're an idiot, and here's how. Fun fact.
Right, that's exactly how it is. Oh man, that's funny.
But anyways, hopefully we'll get some more information. Obviously, it just says 2021, which in current COVID era could be like 2027 by the time we see it. But
Yep.
we'll see. It could be a lot of fun. Could be something that I watch and even like model some stuff after. It could be something that could flop. But I think a lot of us have fond memories of G4. It's just whether or not, you know, they are just trying to play off that nostalgia or actually do something with it. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. That'd be like you guys were saying, someone that has no idea what the hell they're talking about when it comes to gaming or streaming, but they're like, oh, it's super popular right now, let's make a show about it.
Yeah.
Let's get this girl with boobs who knows nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which it was nice when it was Olivia Munn or one of them who actually is nerdy and, you know, and actually being able to talk and not just being an idiot. You know, like you could tell, like
about the corporate taking over.
Yep. Yeah, you could tell.
Well, that's like when I go and watch like a Dark Souls stream. Like I love watching people stream it, and yes, I do like people that are brand new to it, but I also like to go watch the people that actually know what they're talking about. You know, it'd be like someone that just jumped on the bandwagon of Dark Souls because, you know, that gets a lot of views, so they're like, oh, I'm gonna just play it, you know.
Yeah, I'm the same, and that's why I spend so much time on this show every week, because I don't want to be up here looking like I don't know what, and there, you know, I don't know everything, so there are things that, you know,
but you don't.
I have to question.
What?
But yeah, I know, it's shocking, guys. I know, but I put a lot of time to make sure that I have my notes and everything, because if anybody's gonna watch this as a news web show, I can't sit up here and be like, well, so there was this, but I'm not sure or anything like that. Like, I try to do quite a bit of research on everything, so that way if anything does come up, I can be like, hey, yeah, this is a thing, and then talk about it. And now I know way too much about everything that's going on in the gaming world lately, because this is all I fucking do every week, it feels like. But it's a good thing. I enjoy it. But yeah, no, like you said, I don't want to watch a gaming, you know, I wouldn't watch Attack of the Show if it's just two people who are just sitting there talking, not having a passion for it, don't care, don't really, you know, they're not nerds and geeks like us. Like, I hope that they, even if they don't get the original people back, they get people that have that passion. That's and not just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. We'll see as it gets closer. Or just bring back the whole original show. Like, Kevin's probably not doing anything. Adam Schefter's probably not doing anything.
I think it Ninja.
I mean, fuck. Like, he's set for life. Same with Shroud. Well, Shroud's not exactly the most personable person in the world. I don't know. Ninja could probably be a good host. Shroud.
I don't think I could see Shroud on a talk show.
I had no idea that anything was moving regarding. Yeah, no, and so that was another thing with the you know, that could just be they don't have any idea that it was moving, or they also could be under NDA. That's the other side of that, Warlock. So, like, I did see that, and it's one of those, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm kind of hoping more that maybe these guys were under NDA and, or something like that. Even if it's not the old people, or maybe they bring some of the old people back a little bit, but I'm hoping that I'm hoping more that it's like an NDA thing and not being able to talk about it, at least one. Because I think like Adam's post, he had no idea, it looked like, but I think like one of them was, I think Kevin's Twitter, I think was like, oh, hey, look at this. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Adam, I think, was out, but the way that Kevin's post was worded was kind of like, hey guys, check this out, which is a little more like, hey, maybe he knew. So, and Adam was, you know, he was on Tech Show. Adam was mainly X-Play, and then of course Screensavers and that as well. But I feel like you can't have something like that. I feel like maybe he gets back involved. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's I hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see. I mean, all we have to go on right now is a minute fucking teaser trailer, and the responses on Twitter from people. So hopefully we get something that we want back. We'll keep an eye on it because, like I said, I'll just send them an email and clips from the show and be like, hey, I can host this shit. Just let me sit here. I'll fucking COVID era. I'll sit here and do Attack of the Show from my fucking chair. I'll do it. Bet.
I mean, that's the greatest thing though, like about this era is you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit here. K-Cat will just come up and mess with shit all the time. It'll be great. Yep. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, she's looking at me. Anyways, any other comments, questions, comments, concerns before we move on?
No, with that, no.
Nope. Good. Great. Grand. All right. Cool. Today, and well, a couple other things in general, but today announced, it did just drop, and I'm so happy that it announced today and not tomorrow, because I always get annoyed when things drop the day after the web show. Drives me fucking nuts. Just like the Xbox thing that we're going to talk about right after this, in that, I have to wait a whole week to talk about it. It sucks. I'm thinking about changing it to Thursday nights, but at some point I will go back to work, and Thursday nights don't really work for me.
Yeah, in 2030 maybe.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing. It's like Wednesdays are better for me, but everything happens on Thursdays. So I don't know. But who knows when the fuck I'm gonna actually get to go back to work. Anyways,
Right.
Valorant. Some new news about that. First and foremost, we'll talk about, I'm just going to go ahead and show it. New Killjoy, officially the name, the character. New agent reveal trailer dropped today. A lot of things to say about it. I know, Took, you don't really play. I know I play with Nofa, but I know you've watched and hung out a lot.
I've seen a lot of people play it.
Yeah.
So.
I know it's not quite your cup of tea, but I know you've hung out quite a bit when I've been playing it, so I appreciate you. New agent trailer here. Let's watch it here really quick. New German hacker person, because we haven't seen that type of character 17,000 times before, but we'll talk about that in a second. Anyways. Oh, wait, hold on.
Egal was so geschieht, schön, dass es dich gibt. Ja, du bleibst.
Found them. Had some trouble.
Denn alles ist smooth, slow, ist relaxed, perfekt, genau so.
Countdown initiated.
So that's it. Like a very quick teaser thing, but it's cool that we now officially have that. And they did release some information about it, and I have it in other videos and that. One, this adorable little turret with the face on it. I like that because I like being a troll. So just the happy I'm gonna kill people turret.
I'm just glad it's not the X eyes with the stitch mouth.
Yeah, like it almost should be though, right? Like I feel like she should, that little like. Maybe like one half of it, like it does like a little like the guy from Nightmare Before Christmas, where he has like one side of the mask is that and the other one is like the X eyes, like I could almost see it though. But
you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
every other
yeah,
stereotype
it's very
of a
close.
hacker.
That's what I said. Like this
Like-
is
Like
very...
kitty ears, X-eye, like
Yep.
I'm a hacker. I got green hair.
Yeah, no, that's it. This character is just like every other one of these characters I feel like we've seen in all of these
Yeah.
games. She is very much, so I was reading up into a lot of her abilities, and I'll kind of go through the ones as we're kind of talking about here. Very much think she's what is it, the Sentinel class, so she's a site controller. She is like kind of like a cipher is mainly what it is. She is very much like defense. A lot of these abilities, even like the turret and that, as I'm going through, don't necessarily deal a lot of damage, but they kind of distract, give information, because as those of you guys that know, we're playing Valorant, if you were to press on a site, right now you hit cipher, you hit that tripwire.
Right.
It may not stop you, or you may get hit. Like, it only takes half a second to fuck you up, but then that person defending can peek that corner now and shoot you. Like, it's that little bit of distraction, even if it doesn't affect you 100%. So like the first one here, so turret.
Yeah, so like on defense, it's a sight control. On
Yeah.
offense, it's a flank
Yeah,
control.
maybe like flank control, and then you'll know. So this turret, you'll see she throws it up. Split, of course, that they always use, because I think they're just trying to make split look better. But that's like a good thing. That's a perfect example of what it could be. Is, you know, I think damage-wise, I'm not sure if the damage is final. That's why I don't want to quote it. But
Yeah.
a lot of people had, I looked up another article that had, you know, the damage numbers and things like that for it. It doesn't look super strong. The turret, it's a 3-round burst that it does. It's
What's
not
the hit point for getting hit by it? Do we know that?
I think they said like it can be up to. I gotta remember what it was. It wasn't a lot, but it wasn't a little. The turret is her strongest like damage wise ability. But like I said, I don't want to quote the numbers. I think it was like 50 or something like that, because it could change by the time it launches. Those were not official. Like those
How much
weren't.
ammo?
I don't know. I like that wasn't there. That's not official. Damn it.
I
No, I
need to
didn't
know these things before I can
I didn't
respond.
see. I think it had like 3 different 3-round bursts. I think if you get shot by it more, it did more damage. It looked like from what I was reading. But like I said, none of that is officially from Valorant. It's just kind of like the rumors for how it's going to work. But this is a perfect example of you throw that turret up as they're coming onto site. It sees them, distracts them for that half second. You peek. You know, and I think that's where a lot of her abilities are going to come from, utility-wise. Even if it only does 30 damage, that 30 damage can make the difference.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You
and
know.
it really helps your teammates. You
Yeah.
know, it's a good additive to what they already have, and your teammates can see where the other person is and go pew.
Yep, and that's you know, that's what Cypher is. Cypher can hold a position by himself because he has enough tripwires and things like that, that even if he doesn't peek right away, like, and that's how I play Cypher, is like I have those things. I like the traps to it, and then I have knowledge. Like then I know what to peek, and then I can get the team to rotate, and then I peek or whatever. That little bit of distraction, that slowing them down, is what makes Cypher so good. You know, preemptively, and I agree. I think it was one of the designers said, you know, imagine everybody's like, oh, she's going to be so strong as we're going through this. Keep in mind, guys, as we're talking about this, imagine if Cypher was coming out right now, like his abilities. Like he is strong on defense, but on paper, if he were to be the new character, you'd be like, what the fuck? This guy is OP. So I mean, you gotta keep that in mind. That's one of the things they specifically said was, keep in mind, you know, we already have like Cypher and these kind of people. Like, it looks good on paper, but these are counterable. You know, so it's one of those things. Like, even the developers were like, on paper, this is what it is, but in gameplay, there are counters, there are things like that. So,
Well, that was one thing I was thinking in my head. You know, I was like, man, that turret seems like it would be OP. Like,
but I don't think it has that much health. Like, you can blind it.
Sage's bot. You know, if you don't shoot that, it kills you. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, raises. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like, you are,
raised,
yeah.
yeah.
And
I don't know,
actually,
it's
coming up into this thing, and that's exactly it. You know, you have other characters who have these abilities already. It's not like they're just introducing a lot of new elements that aren't counterable. Like, you know,
Right.
these are already tactics or components of the game in play. Just, you know, on a new character. So this is the alarm bot. If they show it. Oh, there's not a video for the alarm bot. Okay.
Found them. Had some
So they show it. So the alarm bot, from what I was reading, so the alarm bot, speaking of Raze's little Roomba, Raze's Roomba is actually a remodified alarm bot. According to lore now. That actually I did read. So it's like, I guess Raze actually took one of Killjoy's alarm bots and modified it, or maybe she made it for her. I don't know exactly how that's going to play in, but that's actually what her Roomba is, an alarm bot, just that Raze has just packed C4 into. The alarm bot is going to be more as opposed to the sentry. It's not here in the video. It just shows it there for a second. It's more a sentry thing. I think it does like walk or whatever. It does very little damage, and I think it's like a 3-shot, or like has like 3 different things that it can attack. It can shoot like 3 times before it dies. Very low damage, but it's more like a knowledge thing. That one they specifically said in the kind of files that I read. That one is more knowledge as opposed to like Raze's Roomba. You throw it out, it finds people and it blows up. This one is more like it's scanning and finding people. You know, it's more of a visual, tactical knowledge kind of gather thing. This one.
Yeah, it's kind of like Cypher's trap. Where if they
Yeah,
walk into
exactly.
it, it gives
That's the
them-
thing. Like this, to me, she is more like Cypher. You know, just with she has a turret, but whatever. It's TF2. You know, you have a deployable turret. It's great. The bomb that chat just said as well. So this it's like not really a bomb. It doesn't really show it here. So I watched other videos. I hate that it doesn't show like the alarm bot besides that little thing. So this, she drops it. This is actually like a Cypher trap. So this is, what was it called? It was called like the alarm buddy or something like that, or alarm grenade or something. It was, I don't know. Like I said, these aren't like the official names that I saw, but I think from what I was reading, like I said, I'd quote them if it was actually from Valorant, but they're not. So it is what it is. But what it does is you activate it just like a Cypher trap, like the cyber cage. So you have to actually look at it. You throw it on the ground. It's invisible. You throw it on the ground, and when you activate it, it will actually like display everybody in that range like bright red, kind of the same as a Cypher trap. I think it's supposed to do damage also. I will pull up the other video here in a second because I did see an in-game thing when they were talking about it that this might actually do a little bit of damage, unlike Cypher's cage, because it looked like it was able to kill somebody that was just standing in it completely the whole time. So it will highlight them, and I think it does a little bit of damage. I don't know how much, but from one of the videos that I saw, somebody did die while standing in it without getting shot. So we'll see. We'll see.
I wonder if it has a slow effect too.
I don't think this one does. Now, her ult, which is the next thing. Like I said, this is just a teaser trailer. We can pull up the other one here in a second from the utilities in action. This is her ultimate. Well, you just see this is obvious cinematic. She drops this. It takes 13 seconds to activate her ultimate. That little turret thing has 150 health. When it activates, everybody in that bubble, all the enemies are slowed. Their rate of fire is like slow. It's a huge debuff to all the enemies in it. They don't get a health debuff or anything, but everybody in that giant orb area, I'm assuming it's probably the same radius as how much you can hear, how much the bomb explodes. But when it activates, everybody in that orb gets, all the enemies in that orb get a debuff. That's huge.
That could be good against like a 2v5 or
yeah, that's like huge. Now,
short-handed.
Yeah. How I read it is that EMP, like I imagine like an EMP pulse, like the orb goes up and then it just explodes in there. I see that as a one-time thing. It's not like a constant thing. If you're in that orb, when it pops, you get the debuff. If you're not, you don't get it. But that's a huge site control. You plant bomb, you plant her ultimate right next to it. It takes 13 seconds to pop. You hold sight. Anybody pressing in or that's nearby the bomb within that radius is now slowed for that last second defuse. But 13 seconds also is a long time. Like, I feel like I would want to plant this before planting the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long the debuff would last. So I have, I'm going to pull up the other video. I did not see that either. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like she's not the one that's going to plant the bomb. I feel like somebody is planting the bomb while she's planting her ultimate. But you can shoot it and destroy it. So that's why I'm not sure if the aim is to shoot it and destroy it before it goes off. Because once it's planted, I guess it's going to pop either way in 13 seconds. So it has 150 health. That little turret or the tower thing that she plants, 150 health. So I guess you could shoot it in that first 13 seconds and keep it from going off. I don't know if it's continuous. If you shoot it afterwards, if you lose the debuff, it remains to be seen. I did not see anything in the other video that I watched. Let me see.
How long does it take to plant the spike?
4 seconds.
So yeah, you'd have to start your ult and then.
Yeah, depending on
tell
how
the
close
person,
they
like-
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
yeah, depending how close they
that's
are.
like I feel like that's like a big rotational type thing too. You know, like if your team just got wiped at A and you want to rotate back to B, you're like, okay, let's plant this here.
Mhm.
You know, get a little.
Yeah, like
I
do
said,
it.
it's definitely a short-handed ability.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, you gotta know. It's one of those. It's definitely gonna be. It's not like a Viper ult where you just pop it and you're good. You're holding sight. Whereas that, like, I think it's going to take a lot more knowledge of what's going on, trying to figure out, because you have to figure out the wind-up time. You have to figure out where to plant it. Yeah, it's not going to be a last-minute ult to, like, just save and cover your ass. If everybody's on A and you just planted C, do you plant it right away? Do you wait a couple seconds to plant it? Like, how fast are they going to rotate? Are they slow rotating? Like, do you plant it right on top of the bomb? Like, I mean, I think that there's definitely going to be a kind of a learning curve to her ultimate. I'm going to pull up this other video here that shows. All right, so here's the other one. This is one that this guy HitScan made. Has this? Oh, let me do this because he's talking about it. And like I said, I don't know. This is
It's
I
not
don't.
all that much. It's more irritating than anything. It fires
This is from him, like from things that they found and not like really official. So that's like the only thing.
Bit about the alarm bot is actually.
Here, I'm actually gonna mute him so that way. But yeah, so like the alarm bot, small replaceable bot that goes invisible and explodes when an enemy is in its proximity. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so this one is different. Sorry, I misread it. So that's like her Roomba thing. So you do just place this one down and it just kind of explodes. It says it does not do much damage itself, but rather serves as a reconnaissance ability. The turret, 3 fire bullets, close range, 8, 6, and 4. So it really doesn't do that much damage. The nano swarm is that grenade is invisible to enemies. That's kind of the cyber cage, like I said. This is the lockdown thing, like I said. It does cost 7 points, and it applies a debuff to all enemies caught within its radius from using weapons. That's what they showed. But if you look at like this gameplay image of the trap, let me see. So like you're looking at this and the person dies. So that's not just a debuff to me. Like that's an activating and they're taking damage. So I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Like I said, this is just different clips that have been put up. Yeah, then they're talking about, you know, the different things and all that. So riot-wise. And then this is the ultimate, how long it takes. Takes 13 seconds. You throw it down. It goes out. Okay, go away. Go away. So that way I can do it. They're just throwing this for the 13 seconds. Okay. Maybe that wasn't the one. It did show the debuff. He did have a thing to show the debuff for him moving, though. Oh, here. So, it shows when it pops. Finally. He definitely moves a hell of a lot slower. But it seems to just be like an EMP pulse. It doesn't seem to be like a continuous thing. Because, yeah, the turret and everything is gone. So it's just if you're inside that orb when it happens. Seems to be the case.
I wonder if it takes away their abilities, too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm not sure. It's supposed to, I think...
Them.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it's supposed to limit their abilities.
Like, yeah,
when
like,
they get
like
shocked.
Remnant.
Yeah. So, we'll see. You know, and that's another reason why you need to take out that turret, you know. But, again, the counter is shoot people. You know, you don't necessarily... Your abilities don't kill people in this game. Yeah, that's it looked like he didn't have his gun once it popped. It looked like the gun went away. So, I'm not sure if it also disarms them. We'll see. We will see August 4th-ish is unofficially when the new season and all that happens. It's still consistently has just said most likely like August 4th. So next
Can
Tuesday.
you show that video one more time? Because I think Andy's saying that Phoenix didn't even have his gun out.
Yeah, I know. I
off.
saw that. Yeah. So like if you do it when he pops and that's... So he has it out and then...
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. It looks like it might disarm them as well. But I'm not sure if that's like... It looks like he might have been swapping before that. I don't know, like, if that's him, like, them showing, like, the movement speed. Definitely, he doesn't have anything in his hands, but it almost looks like, at least maybe the graphics, it could be that he got hit by it and it disarms him, or that he swapped.
Well, does he pull out another? What gun
No.
is he holding?
Yeah,
And
he
then
has
when
a he has
takes
a
it back out, is
Spectre
it
in
the
his
same
hand,
one?
or well, maybe it was a Phantom. I can't tell at this angle. Looks like a Phantom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. It might be a hard counter, debuff, and that's how you're able to destroy it. We'll see. We will see. Like I said, officially, the stats and how it all works have not been released, but yeah, the alarm bot definitely goes boom a little bit, but not that much. I think the Sentry probably is going to be one of the biggest things to me personally, even though it doesn't do much damage, like being able to throw those sentries up, hearing shots, having people distract even for that little bit. Throw a sentry behind you if you're on split, throw it on mid as you're rotating to cover A and help defend A. Then if they rotate back through mid, and it'll distract them even for that second. I think she has a lot of potential. Very counterable, but a lot of potential. And also her ult is 7 orbs, so they already made it an expensive ult. It's not cheap. And it sounds like all of her abilities are expensive too. So she's not going to be a cheap character to play.
Well, if they make it that OP, it'd have to cost something.
Oh yeah, of course. And that's what they did, and they learned that with Raze. Like they nerfed Raze, during beta. She had her grenades, she had 2 of them. They knocked it down to 1. They made her boombot and that more expensive. They upped her ult recently to be 7. Like, they're learning. They know that, okay, if these things are going to be strong to make them viable, you have to make sure that, they're not used too often.
And with games like this, like if they find anything, they'll buffer or nerf her or whatever they got to do.
Yeah, and like Crimson just said, as soon as the electric field around disappears, his gun comes back. That's the thing. So I don't know how long that debuff will last. We will see. Like I said, but that is yeah.
I mean,
yeah, if you plan it right. But I mean, then again, if you're just holding sight and not peeking, you could have your gun back out by the time you're really pressing into sight. So, and that's kind of like a
that's most abilities though, right? It's situational, like like how the other day when I used what's his name, Brimstone. When I used that ult, like I was like, oh, this is gonna work, and it didn't. Like,
I mean, it'll tag them a little bit, and you move out of it, and then you just reset. Like, and that's the thing, they're strong situational if you use them right, but you can counter them and get out of it. But that's the big news there. The other side of Valorant is new act, of course, coming out, and a new launch to the rank system. So Act 2, they're redoing the Act rankings, the way that it's going to be, and it should reflect from Act 1 from what I'm reading. So obviously it's going to reset, but they're redoing ranked mode, so now each tier is going to have 5 different tiers in it, which is kind of cool, instead of 3, including all the way up to the top tier of Radiant. So even the big dogs have 5 different levels of Radiant, You aren't just, I got to the top anymore. Are you Radiant 1? Are you Radiant 5? And you're going to go up and down.
Jesus.
Yep. And also the ranking shows the way it's going to be. It's actually going to be for your last, act. It's going to go off of, your 9 best games. So, like me, those perfect instances like me, if you dropped all the way down to, hypothetically, Gold 1 or something like that, but you played in plat lobbies and diamond lobbies and won those games, that will actually reflect, because it takes your 9 best games and reflects them on your profile to average them out, not wherever you ended up at the end of the season, which is nice.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, because I can play with these last couple days playing and dropping my rank down so much more, but it's like, hey, once upon a time I was good. It shows, and then, but if you do play more, it'll constantly replace. So your rank, it seems how it reads is your rank as it shows on your profile is going to constantly reflect your 9 best at the end of the season and all that kind of stuff. And it'll replace those for your highest lobbies that you're in. So, which is cool. It's nice for people that then you don't have to worry about, okay, I deranked from diamond all the way down to silver or something like that.
We all have shit days sometimes where we just play like trash.
Or just trash teammates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
trash teammates. No teammates.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing. you know, I don't play League or Smite, but that's one of those games where it's like, you know, it's not all on you, you know, and that's what really sucks is, you know, I watch people that are really good at the game and they don't have like a set squad every single time. So it's like, that is a huge factor as to how well you're going to play. You know,
that was my biggest thing in
if you're
Smite.
in the jungle and someone else doesn't know, like, you know, pick this damage orb up.
Yep.
You know, you're like,
that
"What are
was
you
my
doing?"
biggest issue in Smite when I was grinding it like full time and I was playing ranked. I got all the way up to D1, which Valorant it's backwards, which always throws me off. Like D1 in like Smite and those is higher than 5 or whatever, whereas in Valorant it's the other way. You want a higher number. You want to be Diamond 5 as opposed to Diamond 1. That means that you're better. It's weird.
That is weird.
But it's the only game that I know that really does it like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's the thing. So it's like it's a team-based game. Like you can only do so much, and that's what drove me nuts playing as a solo. A lot of times I am solo in a lot of these ranked things when I was playing Smite. You know, getting all the way up there and then dealing with toxic teammates and, you know, 5 minutes in wanting to surrender and shit like that. It's just like, oh, fucking drives
I
me.
played for a day and I've already had that where I've had teammates to just like, oh, I'm not getting all the kills. I'm gonna drop out. I'm like, that's not the point of the game.
Yeah, Smite, as much as I still love it, but I've said for a while, especially, you know, you're a good example. New players, it's hard because it doesn't have a great new player environment. Most people who are in those lower level lobbies are just smurfing and they know how to play and they're just fucking around like on a new account because it's free and they just want to get clips and feel better about themselves. And it's not an easy game to learn unless you have friends.
I play bots all the time.
Yeah. Must really affect your teammates well. Yeah, and that's so like Andy just said, I'm curious if that ult is going to affect your teammates, you know? Because most, like you said,
really diminish it or change how you would use it. Could be like, okay, guys, we're all gonna freeze.
Yeah, exactly. Just so you know, guys. Like, I feel like it shouldn't affect your teammates because that would kind of like defeat the purpose of using it.
Well, because it's like me with Phoenix when I was blinding you.
Yeah, constantly.
You know, it's like you just gotta be better with it. You know.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I yelled at for doing that.
Constantly.
Not blinding me.
It's okay. You're not as bad. The one or the couple times Undercard played Phoenix, I actually put a counter. It was so bad I made a counter in my bot that we could use for how many times Undercard.
That's actually pretty funny.
Actually, I think it's still active. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna test this. I think it's still. Exclamation point UC. Yep. Exclamation point UC. Undercard has flashed us one time. It resets everything. It's still a command.
Dude, that is fucking funny.
That's how bad it was one night. I'm like, fucking A, Undercard. He's like, I don't know how to play Phoenix. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that was my first time playing too, and I was like, how the hell, like, I watch people throw it, and I'm like, I thought it went farther than it actually does.
Yeah, no, you have to be.
I would always just flick it around the corner. So
you have to be right there on the corner, and then just whoop.
Well, I knew it curved, but I thought it went out a little ways and then curved, but nope.
It's literally like as far as if you think about like, hey, how far can your arm outstretch? Like he's literally just like throwing it like that. You know, it's about how it is.
It's annoying as hell.
But yeah, that's Valorant info. I look forward to finding out more info about her. She should drop ideally this Tuesday, and we'll talk more officially about her next week when we know for sure. Ideally.
And then the week after that, we'll talk about nerfs and buffs.
Yeah, exactly. And the week after that, we'll talk about how bullshit she is. No.
Right. That's how it is in every game, man. It's like Rainbow Six Siege when a new character comes out. Everyone's like, oh, this new character's OP. Everyone's playing it, you know. Matchmaking is going to be a pain in the ass because everyone's going to want to use her. And
that's why I'm going to have to get my pre-made lobbies. I'm going to be like, nope, I'm playing this bitch, you know.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving right along, that's all Valorant stuff. Lastly, officially, like I said, it was almost a week ago now, but still got to talk about all of it. Series X Games Showcase. A lot of interesting information and announcements in that hour. I'm just going to run through, and I'm going to let you guys say like, dislike, are we excited, not excited, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go down the list of the article that I have for you guys. And we can talk about each of them. If we want to load up a video for chat or anybody else, of course we can. But we'll just kind of go from there. Of course.
I like having the visuals up of what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll do it as we're going through in that. Halo They started off with Halo Infinite, of course. It was like a 7-8 minute thing. We're not gonna load that whole video up. But what do you guys think? We'll start with that. Just Halo, straight out the gate. Excited? Yes, no.
I mean,
why
Initially
and
excited,
why?
But like, I'd seen people talk about and be like, the graphics don't look as good as I want them to, and as long as we've been waiting, I wanted it to be prettier.
That's fair.
Yep. I would agree. I've seen a lot of that too, and I as well. It looks good, but it looks 2016 good. Like it looks.
Oh, but I told Nofo it looked like it looks like Apex. It looks like something that's already out. It's not like something that's coming out soon. It looks like something that's been out for a couple of years.
And they did
This
say
is how majority of games are nowadays.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the thing.
it's
Like
they play it safe. They're like, okay, this works. We're gonna use this engine instead of trying something new.
And they did come out and say in response to that, because a lot of people had said that if you didn't watch it, depending on where you were watching it, if you watch the videos in the 4K, and even if we watched it right now on stream, it wouldn't make a difference. But if you locally watch, like go to YouTube, you can watch those videos in 4K. They are supposed to be better. I have not because I really don't care enough to see. But they
Not
have.
everybody has 4K.
Yeah, like they have said, like 4K and ray tracing is will affect all those. But on the other side, just like you said, 4K and ray tracing doesn't make the difference for the fact that just the models, the way that they're styled. Yeah, it's classic, but they still look like the same character models, just with different shading.
Right.
Look, I made it shiny.
Yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, now it reflects off of a pool of water.
That's what I'm saying. It's
cool.
like it's like when a game comes out and they're like, it's what's the word that I'm looking for? Remastered.
Yeah, it looks like remastered.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So you compare this to say Last of Us. Last of Us, I didn't play it in 4K. Still looked fucking amazing because the graphics were. Yeah, it would have been nicer. And I always said, like, imagine playing this on PC. But the way that the character models and everything, you could definitely see that they were there. This, obviously, they're not going to totally change up the way Master Chief looks. There would be an uproar. But
oh Jesus, yeah.
You could still adjust curve edges. You can adjust the way the models are, and it's and I agree. I think that for the amount of time and the change in development not development company, but the fact that we're relaunching kind of the Xbox with this again, where we're going back to how it used to be. Halo launched the original Xbox, but how much? Yeah, it looks better, but I'd love to pull up a side-by-side comparison of how a grunt looks in this video compared to how a grunt looked in Halo 1 and see really if that shows 20 years of progress in graphics.
Yeah. And
But
they shouldn't be
people out there that don't care about like that. They would rather have the original look.
Yeah, and that's the thing, so it's who do you make happy?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is
play Halo all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
With these people is you shouldn't be making this game look pretty for the people who have ray tracing and the people who have 4K. That's going to be far in between. It should be for the base person who has an Xbox. It should still look just as pretty. You shouldn't have to have tons of money to be able to have the same experience as someone else.
Yeah, just because ray tracing in some form is going to be on the Xbox Series X, that's great. But some people might be playing with ray tracing off for whatever reason, or they might not have the TV and all that. You're playing on the console.
Right.
The ray tracing doesn't necessarily make the graphics in the game great. Now, don't get me wrong, playing Control and using the ray tracing was awesome when I had that on the PC. But I agree. I think the core graphics, ray tracing is like the cherry on top to graphics. It doesn't change, what's beneath it. It just makes that sundae just a little better. It's like, ooh, that's nice. I like that little cherry on top.
I'm trying to think of like an example of that, like a setting that, PC has over console, but we never use it anyway, because it doesn't do anything visually. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm talking about like it's like you turn something on and you're like, ooh, I turned it on to this, and it's like you turn it to the lower setting and it doesn't do much, like nothing that your eye really can see.
Well, that's kind of like almost like ray tracing. Ray tracing is a good example. Like it's with Control, and I turned it down. I could have had it all the way up, but like frame wise and everything, I was like, okay, that's pretty, but
Right.
I'm gonna turn it back down onto low. Like I don't need it because it slows down so much. Like I have a high-end fucking rig, and even like turning ray tracing all the way on my rig when I was running Control, like slowed it down to like 60 frames, and I'm like,
Nova had Minecraft ray tracing, and it was beautiful and everything. But God, did it killed his system.
Yeah. I just, we definitely are where cards and things can do that, and they make the stuff prettier. But it's that balance. Like I said, I think that ray tracing, things like that, are more a cherry on top. I think rather than trying to incorporate ray tracing, make your core art, your core graphics better.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be more. That's what you're seeing majority of the time. How often are you really looking at a reflective surface? I mean, yeah, it happens, but most people are noticing Master Chief's armor, not the lake that he's running by being reflective. Like I'll go look at it because it's ray tracing. I'll be like, ooh, that's pretty, and then I won't do that again for the rest of the game.
Right.
So, but
it's like people turning their shadow quality all the way up. It's like why?
I just turn shadows off. I turn reflection off.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything. You're just like, there's no need. Like Kdog said. Yeah. Is it cool to check out to see? Yeah. It's like Sea of Thieves. One thing about Sea of Thieves is the water. The water is freaking beautiful, right? They did a great job with it. If that game's water didn't look the way it did, that game would be shit,
No, 100%.
So it's like I can understand it for a game like that, but if you have like water texture for a game where it's like you're in the desert and you see water like every so often, you're just like, why even put this in here?
Yeah, like this is a waste. But graphics aside, are you excited? Are you getting it? Are you excited to play the game? Yes,
Halo?
no.
No, me either.
No.
I've never been a big Halo fan.
I mean, I was excited to see the grapple. Like it's like Apex, like some of the guns and all. He has a fucking grapple hook. Like, and I'll play it. But I haven't really played a Halo since. Campaign since Halo 3.
Hook now?
Yes, they in the video he has a fucking chappy grapple hook, 110%.
So he's got Halo jump.
Yeah, he's got Halo jump plus chappy grapple that can actually pull people to him as well as he melees them.
Actually, you know what? I was gonna say I love shit like that kind of where you can just be like, hey, get over here. I'm gonna punch you in the face.
So I'm the same way. I will get it. Well, I was saying, so I will preface this also. Everything that they showed, and this is the biggest winner for me, and I was going to talk about this at the end. This is a good thing. The biggest winner from this show is anybody who has Xbox Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, because everything that was on the show is going to be on Game Pass, which is awesome. So you don't have to worry about whether or not you're actually going to buy it or whatever, because it's included on your Game Pass. And so I'll play it. Would I go out and buy Halo for $60? No, the same way that I haven't bought Halo 4 or Halo 5 or any of that stuff.
The only reason I played Gears was it was free.
Yeah, Gears I would have, but I like Gears more than I like Halo. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Unpopular opinion, but I was always more of a Gears person than I was a Halo. I love the Gears
play
mythos.
Halo at all, so
yeah. Well, there you go. I'm saying
I think the fanboys will buy it anyway.
Yeah.
The NoFo loves it. I have a lot of friends who are like, oh, Halo all the time. I had negative experiences with Halo because I was good at shooter games and then I'd kill everybody. And they're like, oh, the girl beat me. So I'm like, I don't want to play it.
Yeah, fuck this shit. I mean, I remember Halo house parties fondly. I do.
Oh, God.
110%. Everybody
LAN
bringing
parties.
over, the LAN parties, and we all like different rooms. And you go over to the one richer kid's house who has multiple rooms and multiple TV. Everybody brings over their console. It was great. I loved that shit. But I just I don't know. It's a new era. Like I need more. Like I'll get it, I'll play it, it'll be fun, but I'm more excited when I saw like Gears of War coming out and all that personally. But like I said, all of this on Game Pass, and especially if you have PC, Game Pass Ultimate, which is definitely worth the price because it includes Xbox Live and all that. Yeah, it's worth it. Just pay the $15 a month. It's worth it.
I was say you probably pay $15 a month for summer things.
Yeah, exactly. Like for $15 a month. And what I say when I, you know, especially everything we look at here, for $15 a month, if you have a Gears or a Halo game that comes out, that style of AAA game, once every 4 months, it pays for itself for a $60 game. That's the way I look at it. And then you get other shit, you know, and then you also get your Xbox Live, being able to play online. Not that I ever use my Xbox, but
I'm a
you know,
weirdo too, because like, you know, even with like Game Pass Ultimate and whatnot, I'm not, you know, like I enjoy when they put like something crappy on there, because then it's like I'm gonna download this and check this out real quick. You know,
no, they're great, and it's actually really cool. And one of my favorite things, actually, on the PC, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, it has it on the PC, of course. There's this really cool little thing, and I've talked about it multiple times. Every game that's on like in Game Pass, you can scroll down on the main app and be like, "What should I play?" And you click a button, and it randomly picks a game on that's Game Pass. And I'm like, I wish that was on like every subscription I could add. I wish somebody needs to make a standalone program that includes like Uplay, when you have all free games on Uplay, like Xbox, all those free games. Just be like, what should I play? And it cycles through all of them, and it gives you one. And you're just like, all right, cool, download. Like, but that's like one of the coolest features. And it'll pull up like some random, like here right now. Let me open it up. Let's see. I'll show you guys. So Xbox.
Good for
app.
Indie games.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
On there. I'm gonna step away for a minute. I need to use the.
You're good. So you go like, it's a simple little feature, but here's what will you play next? Surprise me. Crosscode. No idea what the fuck crosscode is, but it's there. Oh, because stepped away for a second, the camera's moved, but that's okay. It'll come back. But yeah, it's like what the fuck is that? No idea, but I could install it and play it, and I think that's just a cool little fun feature. But I highly recommend Game Pass, and that's not as a former whatever person or anything like that.
No, I think anything like that, you know, for me, I love Ubisoft games.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I've been saying it right.
I always mix it up.
Anyway, Uplay.
Mm-hmm.
I get Uplay Plus because I enjoy, you know, majority of Ubisoft's games, like Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, you know. The Far Cries are on there, right? You know, and it's just like you get all those for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I installed Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I haven't played that game in years, and I installed it on PC, and I was like, oh my god, I missed this so much.
Yep.
You know, I always say, if you have like something like that, try it out, because you do get those free games every so often. That, you know.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, Game Pass is definitely one that's worth it. Some of the other ones, maybe yes or no, we'll see. But especially like the Xbox One, I think it's great. Next one, I'll do this after this. Okay, cool. It worked back up. So Halo, like I said, I'll be playing it. Am I excited? A little. Like, I'll play it for free. Like, would I spend the $60 on it? Maybe. Maybe not out the gate. Maybe whatever. But then after Halo, they went on to State of Decay 3 announcement trailer, which was great because also as soon as it started, I'm like, this is going to be State of Decay. And I loved it. I was sitting there watching it live with Undercard, and I was just like the whole time like, oh, this is going to be this. And like 2 seconds into the video, and it's just like, oh, yep, it was. I was like, I was batting 1,000. Like every trailer, as soon as it started, it's like, oh, this is this. And I was right. It was great. State of Decay 3.
I do that with movies all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's
like when you go.
I can't watch trailers for TV shows and movies because he'll find the plot point.
Oh yeah, that's the same way I am. It's insane.
Yeah, my sister hates watching movies with me because I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. Here's the twist, and
yeah, it's like, all right.
She's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, why are we wasting the next 2 hours? I could tell you that this is the random, you know, issue or whatever.
Right. Right.
But State of Decay 3 announcement trailer, it doesn't say when it's officially coming out, but like I said, all these are going to be on Series X, so doesn't mean that they're all going to be like when the console launches. But State of Decay 3, I actually never got around to playing State of Decay 2. I know it's on Game Pass.
It's not that great.
I loved the first one. The first one was great.
I haven't played any of them, so.
Okay. So this is a topic I can talk to you about.
This is why we have multiple people on here.
State of Decay 1,
I loved
the best freaking game ever.
Yeah, I loved 1.
I love the way it worked too in game. Like when you did the survival mode and you got to make your base and you had to like go around and like set different buildings up, you know, and your safety region got larger and larger, and then you stayed there for a while, and then it was like, okay, we need to keep moving, so they would take you to a whole nother map. State of Decay 2 was not that at all. It was literally just story, and then like there was no survivor. Unless they've updated it. I know they added a new boss recently to it or something like that, but
I saw that there
State of
was
Decay
like
1
an
was way better.
expansion or DLC or something like that that came out. So, like I said, I didn't play 2, so hopefully 3. This is an announcement trailer. It just shows she's walking through the woods, kind of runs into a lady who's like hunting, surviving in the zombie apocalypse. Surviving, runs into kind of like a zombie deer, and then it flashes to State of Decay 3. It's only like a minute long little trailer thing. I hope it goes back to 1 then, if you know.
Yeah.
Because one was great. I just never got around to playing 2. There were so many other games out and everything else, and I never got around to it. I wanted to, but 1 was amazing. I loved 1.
2 was just wonky, man.
Yeah.
Like, I remember at one point I was driving a truck, and you know, I'm like running into all this crap. Nothing happened to my truck. I go up this hill, and I was trying to squeeze between a playset and a fence. And my truck blew up and killed me after I had just done all this stuff. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Nice.
That's what killed
Terrible.
A fucking playset, you know, like, you know, damn kids blowing up
me.
trucks and shit.
I jumped this thing off of a mountain, and it's fine. I touch a freaking playset and die. Wasn't very happy.
Dangerous. Don't have kids. There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah, that was the plot. Right
that was the moral. Moral of the story. Wheel of morality. Yeah. So I mean, I'll probably check it out when it comes out because it's on Game Pass. But other than that,
are you gonna play the trailer?
This one I don't think it's really worth playing. Like it's just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, it's definitely a fun, like, you know, it's not crazy sweaty. It's very relaxing for a zombie game, honestly.
It's like Last of Us.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, but like the thing that drove me nuts about 2 also was you had these like infected buildings, right? And you'd go clear out the infection. Okay. And then you'd go do more things, and all of a sudden, like 20 minutes later, the building's infected again, and you're like, I just cleared.
So it reload everything real quickly.
Yeah.
I hate that in games.
So they don't like State of Decay 1 didn't have that. You cleared it out and it was done.
Yeah, it's like
And
you
then
did it.
This one, it's like you use, I forget what you collect. There's like some sort of shards you collect from the nests. So it was like, you need those, but I'm like, let me go find some more. Don't keep putting it in the spot where I'm living, because that affects your AI settlements, like morale. So you're like, okay, I'm feeding you, here's supplies so we can upgrade our house, you know. And then all of a sudden they're like, I'm sad because there's an infected house next to me, and I'm like, I'll go get it. You know, it's like,
I'll
goddamn,
go take care of it.
I got other
I
things to
defeated it. I'm done.
Yeah.
No more.
You should be, yeah.
The one random zombie that was walking around, why'd you let him set up shop there? Like, come on.
Right. Yeah, and that's the other thing is your AI, like, they don't do anything. They sit around and bitch about like, oh, I'm hungry, and you're like, well, fucking, there's a supply run right next to you. Go get it.
Go fucking get it. That was
Like, why
the
do I have
original.
to do
You could
everything?
send out people to go do that, and they would kind of like do their own thing.
Well,
But-
so the one thing that I will say about State of Decay 2 that was pretty sick was you recruited people. You could recruit people based on their stats. So if you found someone that had like really cool skills, you could recruit them, and you could player swap. So you didn't. I mean, it's like State of Decay 1 had that too. You know, you weren't always the same person. You could like switch.
Yeah, you can
But
get the people.
this one you could like tell people to fuck off, which was great. You know, and it would be like
It's the best part of any game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like, it's like
You can go to hell.
So for example, you could find someone that was like really good with guns, right? Like they could use like the better weapons, but it was like they're also psychopaths, so they might ruin morale. So it's like, do you want the guns or do you want them to like lower your camp's morale? You know, so there was negatives and pros, and you had to like sit there and think about it before you
That's
recruited
nice.
them. But there were sometimes where I just take the person that was like pissing people off, and I'm like, you can literally take them out to the woods and be like, later, and leave them in the woods, and it was the greatest thing ever.
That
You'd be
sounds
like,
fantastic.
we gotta go have a talk, and by talk I mean I'm gonna leave you over by this infected
I'm just gonna
building.
leave this right over here. Whatever happens,
Zombies
happens.
might get you.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
It's 100% Rick and Shane from The Walking Dead. You know, like
Yeah.
let's go way out here and have this conversation. You're not coming back though.
All right. So playing it day one, yes or no? What it took playing it? Yes or no?
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Ignoring the fact, imagine that we're not streamers, so that is also a thing. Because so a lot of us just play shit day one because of content.
If I wasn't streaming it, yeah, I'd probably play it day one.
Okay, yeah. Ignoring us being content creators and we kind of have to play new shit sometimes.
You know me. I'm the type of person I like to watch beforehand. I wish I would have done that with the Division and shit like that.
Yeah, I wait a couple days. Like I'll wait to stream it till the hype has gone down and people are kind of bored with it, and it's not all the people with thousands of people watching.
Yeah. Well, so Shredder, yes, no?
Depends.
That's not an answer.
I'm
nope. Yes or no?
Well,
yes or no, Shredder? We need a yes or no.
Are wanting to play, I'll get it. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll see if there is like that, because they did have like that co-op kind of option in the other ones and that. So. Because
that always seems to happen to me. I always have people that I'm like, hey, you want to try this with me? Yeah, and then they're done with it like a few days later, and I'm like,
because I beat everything.
Right.
It's not my fault. I grind games for like 14 hours and then I finish them and then I'm done. I don't have a job right now. That's all I do.
Play Last of Us. Oh, he's done. Okay.
Yep. That literally, that was like less than 2 days. I was done.
And the thing
by
is,
the end
like,
of Friday night.
100% or two, and
like,
you still run through it. It's like Spider-Man for me. The other day, I was like, I'm gonna play Spider-Man, and people were watching me, and all I was doing was collecting the backpacks and the little
people
control
get
center.
so annoyed.
Yeah, they're like, are you gonna play the story? I'm like, no, because I gotta collect all this other crap to power my guy up before I even do anything.
I just like to be the first person to do things. So that's like with Ghosts and say Last of Us. Like, haha, I beat it first. All right, I'm done now. I'm gonna go to bed. I've been online for 27 hours.
For story-based games, I do not wait, and I don't stream it either.
I know you don't stream. Yeah, I know we've had that conversation.
I don't stream them right away. I'll beat it first before I stream it, because there's always that one person that's like, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna go and find someone streaming this game and tell them how it ends.
Yeah,
I hate that.
So. I've come to the conclusion that I don't stream story-based games until I beat it and I know how it ends. Then I'll go back and play it on stream.
Yeah.
That's how that's just the way I do that.
True. I think depending on what else is out at the exact time, I'll play State of Decay 3 on launch day. It might only be one stream of it though. Like like when it comes out,
I mean, I'm down if you're gonna do that. I'm down to play it with you.
I'm hesitantly excited. Let me put it that way. Like I'm not excited. I'm more excited for Halo than I am for this, just because like I'm more fond of like how I remember one. But I mean, there's the potential there. So it's hesitantly optimistic.
Unfortunately, this is one of those games that did that to me. Like. If the Division 2 or if the Division 3 was coming out, right?
Yeah.
I would be hesitant on that as well.
Yeah.
Because like I love Division 1. I love State of Decay 1. Both those games, the two did not sit well with me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where I'm like, I'm hoping that they fix their shit.
Well, there you go. You have it, chat. There's the pretty much kind of all within the mid-range on it. It sounds like, like not excited, but but that was their second video. After that, Forza Motorsport revealed, officially just called Forza Motorsport because they didn't want to just keep adding numbers. Yeah, they didn't want to keep adding numbers and other things.
Forza sports cars.
It's Forza.
Why not just do Forza and then the year, just like any other
like just
sports game?
like I don't know what else to say about it. It's one of those, if you like Forza, like they're great racing games. If you like Forza, you like the games, you're gonna like this. Like I don't know what else there is to say. I don't know if you guys have anything. It looks pretty. It's all they updated the graphics even more. If this is your type of game and you like Forza, so you're gonna love it.
The thing about Forza, I love cars. The racing is probably like the best, like the smoothest racing in a game as well. And as a streamer standpoint, the Forza community has always been pretty solid.
Oh yeah, 100%.
people stand by it. And the one thing that I like about Forza, because I do watch a lot of people that stream it, they have those like trials, you know, where it's like, hey, I gotta get my weeklies done, you guys want to come play? And it's not super sweaty, because I might be wrong about this, but it's not, when you race against people, it's almost like ghost cars, I guess. You know, you can have like your
right, you can have collision or not.
You're not bumping each other off the road,
no
but it's
collision
showing
or
a
anything.
ghost car being like, hey, your friend is faster than you.
Yeah.
Which
So.
is good, because I'm hyper aggressive when I play. No
I
one believes me.
I like having collision, just that way I can be like, haha, fuck you.
I'm talking about for like time trials.
Yeah.
though.
Oh yeah. For yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like because there's some events where it's like it's a sprint. It's not laps, and so it's like
Yeah. Whoever
so
can
you wouldn't
just.
even be online. It would just say like, it would just be like, here's Kdog and this is him, and you're like, how is he faster than me? Like, what did he do to his car that is making him go so much faster?
You just
but
gotta
no,
talk
Forza
nice
has
to
always
it.
looked amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's looking prettier. If you like Forza, if you play it, I know there's some people on my side that enjoy Forza. You're gonna love this. You're gonna get this. If you're not a Forza or a racing person, you're not gonna get it. Like it's just one of those. It's kind of like saying, are you gonna get the new Madden? Either you are or you aren't. You know if you're gonna get the new Madden.
Dude, my dumbass always gets the new Madden, and
I get one Madden.
Like,
I get one Madden every like 4 or 5 years, because I have like a friend like Shredder or one of my other IRL friends. Like, oh yeah, get it. Like, we'll play, and I'll play for a little bit, but then it's like, all right, cool. I'm good with Madden for the next 5 years, because it's the same fucking game. Like,
I don't think I've gotten Madden since like the early thousands.
And
I haven't. I'm like,
I always say the same thing too. I'm always like, this is the year that, you know, Madden's gonna be my shit. Like, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna get Ultimate Team like right away. I'm gonna build my team up.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Start with Ultimate. It's gonna be great. Yeah, and then it just never happens.
You just don't. I don't have enough time to keep up with it.
Yeah, because there's people that's all they do is just like play Madden in that. So
now I'll tell you what though. Once NHL releases for PC, oh boy, that's gonna be my shit.
I know you're a huge
the only
NHL
game
person.
that is not on PC.
Okay, hold on, let me do. So here, I'll load this up as we're talking about. The next one that they talked about is Everwild, which I'll have it here. Oh, I can't. Can you not be completely muted? Thanks. There we go.
Our world has a rhythm.
Which is pretty much like
We all sense it.
Druids and Witches. It's by Rare.
But
It's
only a few
yeah.
truly feel it.
You know. I don't know if you guys like watch live. Like it looks interesting.
It is
Horizon
found in
Zero
the
Dawn.
smallest
Yeah, exactly. Like
moments.
it's a lot of other. Here, hold on. I wish. Why is it?
Pretty.
It
so, yeah, no.
I like
it's,
the art style. Reminds me kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender and stuff.
I hate that it's opening up and I can't adjust the thing if I do that. The volume is like so loud.
Every step of a purposeful journey.
It's pretty definitely, you know, something interesting. And I think this is a good example of, personally, one of those games that will probably do better on Game Pass than if it released separate. Like Rare is
Spellbreak too.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I like the art style. Yeah, I definitely I thought Spellbreak also when I first saw it. I was like, Spellbreak? What?
Spellbreak, Zelda, fucking.
Yeah, this looks exactly like Spellbreak. It's the same fucking art style, the same look of the druids as they are. It's I think this is a good example of the game that if it wasn't on Game Pass, it might not sell as much. Yeah, they're selling it for free on Game Pass, kind of. But, you know, maybe they do like the DLCs or whatever. But how much would this game sell by itself? You know, how much traction would it get? I think this is one of those that it looks pretty. You know, you have your variety people like us who might find a game like this, but like more out of the ordinary audience might not check this out if it wasn't on Game Pass. I think it looks cool. This is one I have seen a little bit about it over the past like year or so. So this is the most I've seen. I think this trailer was the same one they already had out before because it did look familiar when it launched. I'm not 100% positive, but yeah, essentially you're like a druid. That's how I see it. And it's very nature, obviously. Looks like Spellbreak graphics to me.
Yeah.
I like it. This is like my kind of thing, and I think all of us, since we're all variety-ish people, I think we all get in on it, especially because it's, you know, it's a Game Pass game, but of the recent games, I'm kind of more excited for that, personally, just because it's something a little different that I could check out. Like, but I know it's also only going to be like a 1 to 2 stream kind of game. You know, like, I don't think it's going to be like, oh, this is my new main game. I'm going to be playing this.
It could be a filler.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm excited for it in a different category. Like, it's just a...
It's like Valorant's pissing me off. I'm going to go play this.
Yeah, exactly. This is a 2-day break. It looks cool. Check it out. It's the idea behind it is very nature forward. Obviously, that not quite cell shaded art style, but I mean, you guys saw it. I don't know how to describe it.
It reminds me of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
and that's the kind of people they're trying to pull, is those kinds of people. They're not trying to pull the people who are playing BRs all the time.
Yep. And that's perfect. We need, and that is another thing that I personally noticed about this reveal. They had a good balance of games during this whole show. You had the Halo, then you had this, and then there were like 2 or 3 story games. The next one we're going to talk about more of those like story, drama, choice games that you're not doing action. You're literally just playing through a movie.
Jam.
Yeah, you're playing through a movie. You are, that's what you're doing. It's an interactive movie, and they had a good balance here, and I think overall it was a great show. But Everwild, Breath of the Wild, Spellbreak, I mean, same art style. I when I played Spellbreak, I always said that it was the Zelda Breath of the Wild BR, and people always were like, "What? There's a BR?" I'm like, "Yeah, look at it. It's the same thing."
Right, yeah.
It threw people off
Confused
all
the
the
hell
time.
out
Yeah,
of them.
it fucking confused everybody, and it was great. But
Kitty.
excited a little bit? Yes, no? You too?
Yes, I want it. It's pretty.
Yeah,
There you go.
mean, I don't think it's just story based, right?
As far as I know, like, there's only so much information about it. It's,
Yeah,
I
They
think,
said like rhythm based at the beginning, so I'm a little confused on what the gameplay is going to be like. So
that's the only thing. It was all cinematic. Like, we have no idea
Right.
what
Like what we're doing.
exactly it is. It's all just like art style and vibe. So
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Have to see some
you know me,
gameplay,
I'll play just about anything.
yeah, exactly. Like, all of us are. I think that's the only thing. Like, this episode is like, will you play this? And it's like, yeah, because all 3 of us are people who will play kind of about anything. So it's not like I have somebody on this week that's like an FPS person and somebody who's like only a League of Legends player. You know, it's like, are you gonna play this?
Right.
Nah, fuck this shit. You know.
Like, and my answer to basically everything is, are you gonna play it? Depends on if other people are gonna play it. Because the reason I play story-based games is I don't have to rely on anyone else to be there for me. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. I can enjoy myself. I get it. Next one after that was Tell Me Why. They came with a release date, August 27th. This is the same people who made Life is Strange, the same creators. And honestly, like I said it, literally as soon as this trailer launched, I was like, Life is Strange 3?
yeah, I knew immediately.
Yeah, I was like, just the whole vibe. It was like, Life is Strange 3? Because this is...
That's what I thought it was. Is it a prequel?
Yeah,
Is it a
like
sequel?
it's literally how old are you? Why is it asking me how old I am? Maybe I am sensitive about my age. God damn it!
Our people do not know how.
I had to put in a date thing beforehand before we could watch it. But like I'll load it up as we're talking about just to be in the background here. It definitely, you could tell, you know, same style as Life is Strange. It looks same vibe. Thought it was Life is Strange 3 or something like that. Same kind of feel to it. So again, kind of like with a Forza, if this is a type of game that you play, I think this is an easy buy. If you liked Life is Strange, you like those.
Kind of has like an Until Dawn look. No, never mind. I did for a second.
Well, like if you play those,
like all the Telltale games.
yeah,
too.
exactly, the Telltale games. If you play these type of story games that aren't like action based, you just maybe have like, you know, just okay, you choose. You know, you used to read those choose your adventure books, and now you play video games. This is for you. You either know you like these games or you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
I love games where they have multiple endings too.
Mm.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
like,
it pisses you
Until
off
Dawn,
if you get the wrong one.
Right, Until Dawn is one of those games where my first playthrough, one person died, right? And I was like, okay, cool, that was a fun game. And then someone in my chat was like, oh, did you know that you could play it through where everybody lives or everybody dies? And I'm like, I gotta do that. And then you'd be playing and you get to the point where someone dies and you're like, God damn it, gotta start over. Like, what the fuck out?
Yeah.
I think
how
it
do I
really
kill
lends
everybody?
itself to the playability of these kinds of things. What can I fuck up now?
Right.
Yeah. And so the only thing I will say, and I said this when I was watching it live, it definitely looks like Life is Strange, and, you know, I could tell that it's them. I will say the bad thing about this is that it looks like Life is Strange. It doesn't look like they've upgraded their graphics or their graphic rendering, or, you know, their...
Yeah, they just took the same engine that works.
Yeah, the same, and for the past 5 years. Like, it still looks like kind of a
very flat
360
still.
That's what
game.
I'm saying. A lot of
Like,
companies are stuck on that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, this worked. Why change it? And sometimes that's not bad.
It's okay if you have a certain art style. There, I don't think, like, say Borderlands. You know, Borderlands like looks a certain way because it's like the art style. But even then, they upgrade it. There, I know it's a smaller company, somewhat. You know, it's not a huge company, but it's not like that's an art, like it's an art style, but it's not. Like, I feel like they still could have upgraded the graphics with it still like looking good. I think you know, it looks. That was my one takeaway during it when I was watching it live, was this kind of looks like it's out on 360. Like, that was my only takeaway from it.
I could understand that, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It would be like if Borderlands was like, oh, we're gonna make it look super realistic out of nowhere.
Take away all that outlining you like on your characters. Bye.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I didn't hate Life is Strange. This one is not a. This one is a one that down the road, if I have some extra time, I'll play personally. It's not one that I'll jump out at unless it gets a lot of good reviews, and we'll see. There have been some story games that I really love and all that. This one, just from what I saw from the trailer, the way it is, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
But
I think this is definitely a off-stream game for me. This is probably not something I would stream because it's a weird niche to begin with.
yeah. Well, because I think it, from what I gathered, it looks like it might deal with even like some type of suicide or homicide, and then like abuse and things like that, which I appreciate games like broaching those subjects, but also like, yeah, like streaming wise and all that,
It can make some people very uncomfortable.
yeah, and you know, it's like what do you say? How do you approach certain situations and everything? And I agree with that as well.
I'm very man, I'm not a good streamer, like, because I get that people do, you know, suffer from that, but my answer to that always is like, then why are you in here watching it? You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, I
I
have no problem. I enjoy broaching those subjects, but I can understand, like, with, you know, wanting to play them like offline or whatever.
I'm not a sensitive person. Like, you know, when people put stuff in games like that, it's real life shit. Like, that stuff happens. Like, you can't just like. It's like you're walking on eggshells as a company. It's like, this would make a great story, but we can't do it because people live through this. You know what I mean? Like,
like, I'll still play it.
I guess the best example is the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why. They had to cut out the suicide scene because people that suffered from suicide were like, oh my God, like, this is making me want to kill myself. It's like, if you have like issues with that, like, why are you watching this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, I'm it's gonna make me sound like an asshole by saying all this, but it's one of those things where it's like, I personally don't get it. Like, if I was abused, why would I go watch a show about abuse? You know,
no, I get what you're saying. I think what, like, took what you're saying was just like, it's more like an offline kind of thing. Like, whether or not, like, kind of, I enjoy games that broach those different. That's why I like, you know, like, Control wasn't like that in like that regard, but I like the psychological things. I like when games fuck with you. You know, like Last of Us, even like is the big AAA game that there's death, there's heartbreak, there's all of us being like, what the fuck just happened? Like, and you know, we're on the verge of tears while playing it, and that's fine. It's just I personally I don't know that this is one that's going to be good enough right away for me to be like, all right, let's stream it. Like I just.
Well,
I'll
Last
have
of
to
Us
see.
had the battle stuff with it as well. It wasn't the just the story. There was story that was battling, and there was other stuff included. It wasn't just the one kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like games, you know, games never had children dying, right?
Oh yeah.
Like no game would ever have a kid dying. Like Skyrim, you can't just go into town. Like you can murder the whole town, but you see a kid and you can't kill the kid, right? Because it's like, oh, that's wrong. But then all of a sudden, like Last of Us, it opens up with his daughter dying.
Yeah.
And
it
I
was
still like I just started playing that the other day, and I still get teary-eyed.
dude. When I first played that, I was
every single time I'm like, that would suck. But at the same time, I'm not sitting there being like, how dare you make a child die in your game. Like I like having that like feeling of, oh my god,
the realism plus
right,
the pulling on the heartstrings that has always been in like television shows that should be part of video games.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna email them and be like, how dare you do this?
And that's how you know that's how we know that we are getting video games into, you know, we're getting them to actually tell stories that we care about, and they're hitting more mainstream, because for years we've had this as gamers where we've been upset or we've gotten sad because a main character dies, but nobody understood. Now, you know, like lately, more mainstream, we've been getting these games that have have the heartbreak or the emotional ups and downs. That's getting a little bit more mainstream. They've always been there, but it definitely, you know, we can see now more vocal wise about, hey, this is the thing. Like, you know, they can affect your mood. You can represent them as well as you can in a book, as well as you can in a movie, if not better, because you have the best of both worlds. You have the book, you have the storytelling capabilities, and you're not locked into 2 hours. You know, you're able to actually play through it yourself and see it yourself. I think my thing is, like, personally with this, I didn't see anything that drew it in that made me excited to experience it. Like
the story just looks
I just not sure.
We've all seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's
one of those games where I would probably enjoy watching someone else play it, honestly.
Yeah, this one I'm not sure the story. Like there, I've seen like, dude, like Alan Wake, Control, like all these things. Like if they fuck with my head, Last of Us, if they fuck with my head, they make me feel things. I love games like that. I want to be emotional. Like I want a game to get to me. I do. This one just from what I've seen so far is just okay. Like, it's no, you know, Life is Strange.
I'm trying to think, like, there's a few games that are like that too, where you run with a character for so long and you get emotionally attached to them, and then they kill them off.
I have people
Final Fantasy
in
VII, the original, when I played it originally, and I leveled up Aerith so much, and then she died. I was like so pissed.
Spoilers, gosh. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I
love games like that where you get emotionally attached to the characters, you know, and you're just like. I
still have people in the community like Lulav, which she'll be up in a couple hours. We'll come through if we're talking about it. And she still makes fun of me, and there's still plenty of people in my community that make fun of me because I still get upset and get teary-eyed watching Dom dying in Gears of War 3. I fucking still, like, we were watching it, like, one night on YouTube, and I was showing because we were talking about it. I still will get, like, just a little teary-eyed, like, seeing him, like, go and sacrifice himself. And I'm just like it touches, you know, because I love that universe so much. Like you get involved, and
I'm not like the same way as you because I don't play that, but I can understand that, like, you know,
especially if you've been playing with the game for so long, and then it's like, oh, they're dead now.
Yeah. Gears. I read the novels, I played the game, so it's just like, you know, when that happened in game, I was just like, all right, I need a break for a minute. Like, this was long before streaming and all that when Gears 3 came out, but I was just like, I'm gonna need to just kind of sit here for a minute because I'm not okay right now, you know. But that's what I want from a game. I love games that do that out the gate. This Tell Me Why doesn't look like it'll do that. I'm not saying that it won't, but it didn't jump out at me. There's plenty of other games that have had more things. Hell, I got
it's definitely on a lower tier for stuff I'm gonna play.
Shit. Even Telltale's Wolf Among Us, you know, is fucking amazing. I'll go play that,
love that
you
game.
know, before this, most likely. So it sounds like kind of all of us like if we have an off day, we'll play it kind of thing. It seems like. But who knows? It
Yeah.
could be great. But, you know, from what I saw of the trailer, that's where we are. After that, they announced Ori Will of the Wisps. I can talk. Series
Wait,
X update.
Another Ori?
No, it's the
Oh.
same one. Just now, it looks slightly better for Series X.
It's a rehash. It's pretty. They made it prettier.
And
Okay.
this was the start of me looking at the show with a couple of these going, all right, so it's the same game that
And
looks
we
a
all
little
hate when they do
better.
that. Like they redid Final Fantasy VII, yes, but it looks like a completely different
Yeah,
thing.
that's
they took
different.
so much time on it,
That's-
but they're
I was
just
gonna say-
rehashing it.
I was
This
gonna say,
is
have
they
you
just
seen the
updated it.
video of them talking about the PlayStation 5?
Mm.
And they're like PlayStation 5, and then it starts showing like gameplay, and you're like, oh, this looks neat. And then all of a sudden it's like Grand Theft Auto 5 for PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's and that's
Why?
this is the
Please
first
don't
thing.
You're gonna-
remaster it. It looks. We
I-
get it. Everybody
Right.
likes it.
Yeah.
But the
And that's this.
replayability for it is like nil.
They talked about it for a couple minutes. They have the video, Ori, and they had the developers. They're like, oh, well, it's better in, you know, Xbox Series X because the frame rate and everything else. And I'm like, I get that, but you're just re-releasing the same game. This is like,
Right.
cool.
It's a money
So I was
grab.
like, yeah,
Yep.
we're just, you're whatever. It's the same
Corporate.
game. It just looks a little better. It's like, cool. Okay, it runs better now. It's how it's supposed to look.
Ori,
Yeah, I'm gonna skip
but
that one.
how would Ori not run good?
Yeah.
Isn't it just a
It's just,
platformer?
it's a platform. It's just the frame rate of the art style and everything, you know, looking better and cleaner.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah,
literally
you know
what
me,
it
I'm
came
not a
down to.
platforming kind of guy, so
Yeah, literally what it came down to was pretty much frame rate.
it's a hard pass on me.
Yeah,
Pass.
I never play. I love the Ori games. I'll end up playing it now, but just because it's actually going to be on Game Pass Ultimate and I'll be able to play it. Which I'm not sure if it is like right now. I think maybe with this re-release it'll be on Ultimate. I don't think it was on Ultimate before for PC because I'm not plugging back in my Xbox to play certain ones of these games. Sorry. After that, Outer Worlds, Peril on Gorgon DLC announcement. Cause I don't know. I love Outer Worlds. I'm a huge
do not know.
Gotta
Fallout.
replay that.
Fallout New Vegas, which is the designers or the company that behind it, Obsidian, that made Fallout New Vegas. Huge fan of them. Best Fallout game in the recent era was that. Outer Worlds, I absolutely loved because it had that same vibe. So now we have the DLC launched. September 9th, I'm going to be playing this. But this is also launched on the new Series X. I'm just happy it's on PC, you know, because yay, free DLC. It was also actually,
Right.
if you haven't played it, if you're a Fallout person, it's on Game Pass. Play it. It's great.
I played it and then stopped playing it.
Oh, dude.
I'll watch you play it.
That's perfectly okay. I love, like, that's what I'm all about, is the fucking old school Fallout. I actually almost started replaying the original Fallout games, but New Vegas was the best one that fit the vibe of Fallout, in my opinion.
Yep.
But this is the same company, and they're like, all right, well, Fallout is being taken over. Bethesda has their look on it. We're gonna take and build our own IP.
New Vegas was probably my favorite
Oh yeah,
Fallout.
oh yeah. Of the new ones, yeah, 110%. And that's why this is this company.
If they remastered it, I would play that for sure.
This is the remaster. It's New Vegas in space. Like that. This is the remaster. That's what I tell people.
The right kind of case.
They wanted us to develop a miracle drug.
Like it's
Can put you on the wrong side of a gun.
I just love the storytelling, and the guy that got to narrate is just fantastic.
Thing.
yeah. They have it as a nice little. I don't know. It's. I don't even know. Like
Danger.
It's like 60s.
yeah, like whatever.
60s, 70s
Yeah,
space.
yeah, like a video
Yeah.
for it.
No one.
What will you find on
Gorgon. So, new DLC for Outer Worlds.
Can't bring you any drinks in its current state.
Can't bring you any drinks. Must buy / download for me. But that's because that is my shit. You already said that you'll watch me. So
I'll play it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna replay. I'll probably start a new character and shit like that.
Yeah, same. The only bad thing about Outer Worlds that I didn't like was that it was short-ish. Like, I spent a lot of time in it, but you could, like, the main story and a couple of things. It was a shorter game, but I think in the long run, them having it being received so well, and that is good, and this builds more. They can actually build an IP off of it, ideally, in the future. That's what I hope for, so. But, yay, new DLC launch. So you guys watch it. Shredder's gonna watch it. I'm excited. It's Fallout, as it should be. After that, Grounded, or also known as I call it, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Video game.
I'm really
it's like a
excited
video
about
game.
this.
New trailer was shown. It's actually already out. Well, yeah. So early access is out. Some people are playing. You can go watch it right now on somebody else playing it on Twitch. I lurked a little bit on somebody. I didn't get to watch too much gameplay. Have either of you guys played it or watched gameplay?
I've not. I read about it.
Some gameplay.
I read about the story, like the base behind it, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I like it because I like puzzles.
I think this would definitely be a Shredder game because I know like you like your survival games. Like I was thinking like it's forest, but not like I get the survival thing, but also like it does have a little bit more action to it, I think, than like forest or raft and all those have. Because I get bored with survival games.
Capture like the Minecraft people because you kind of build and survive and stuff, but with prettiness.
Yeah, no, that was the thing I think that caught my attention was, you know, the more that I play games, the more I like the cartoony looking games. You know, I used to give so much shit to Fortnite being like, oh, this game looks like a child's game, and now I'm really starting to enjoy games like that more, which is weird. I used to be like, oh, it has to look realistic.
It's a, you know, you like the escape part of it. So I've only watched a tiny little bit. I do want to play it and check it out. I think this is only one of those. Me personally, I will probably only play with friends because I only play so many adventure survival games to begin with.
Well, that's like playing the forest solo.
Yeah,
like you can, but it's not nearly as much fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a co-op kind of game.
Yeah, I know I have a couple people probably right now, even when I was getting on for the web show earlier, that were playing this. So it is out in early access.
Epic, right?
Well, it should. I don't know if it's on Epic in early access or like I don't know if it's on the Game Pass app.
I saw it on Steam.
Maybe that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it on Steam.
That's one thing I hate about having multiple launchers, though.
Oh
Is
my
like
god,
you
I
gotta
never know what
remember.
anything's on.
Yeah, it's like fuck.
Just Google it, and then
which one do I have to open up
usually.
today to download this? Yeah, 110%.
Like, yeah, sometimes it's on both. You know, it's like, yo, you can get it on Steam for cheaper than Epic.
Yeah, or like, yeah, it's free on one, but not the other. It's like, oh, that's actually free on Game Pass, like Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds, I was ready to buy. It was getting released on Epic. Like, it was, like, I was going to pay the $30 for it on, like, Epic or whatever it was. And then somebody, like, told me, like, I had it pre-ordered. Somebody told me, like, 2 days before, it's like, it's releasing on Game Pass for free. And I was like, fuck yeah. And then I had to fucking cancel and I'll do that. But, yeah, yay issues of being, you know, a gamer / streamer, especially in having 70,000 things. So I'll play it. I'll check it out with friends. I think Shredder, definitely, this is his kind of game. So
yeah, no,
this is, I feel like this is a Shredder game. Took playing it, maybe.
I'm gonna play it. Probably co-op. It's co-op. I like games that are survival and co-op because then you have people to play with.
No, that's the other channel. You're one room down the hall on the left, guy. So yeah, Grounded. From what I saw, there's a lot of just gathering around, but that's every adventure game, so I don't want to hold that against it. I just didn't watch too much gameplay. I just keep calling it the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game because that's what it reminds me of.
I like that. You know, like that's gonna make having like enemies.
Yeah, it's different
to go against.
You know, having your own different shit going on. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. Next one that they showed, Avowed, which is Obsidian's. Also, speaking of Obsidian or whatever, but a new RPG, which only a teaser trailer. Can you play? Go, do your thing. And it's muted all the way. God, I hate pulling it off of this website, but this was like the best one that had this IGN website that had all of them, because it keeps like exiting rather than going through like the YouTube page that had everything. It was a pain in the ass to go in order. The only bad thing, like, and this is obviously just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
And it like, I'm like, okay, you know, new Oblivion, like new Skyrim, new like something,
Right.
you know,
Rings,
but
like,
I don't know how it
God.
actually is, whether it plays, whether it. I mean, this looks like Lord of the Rings. Like, there's definitely a Lord of the Rings moment coming up here in a second.
like, are we gonna be the Lord of the Rings Shadow Army again? Are we doing that?
Like, I mean, this right here, like, obviously you have dual wield, so I'm thinking like, you know, the dual wield like Skyrim, you know, when we, you know, or Oblivion, whatever. But you can dual wield. You have your spell, one hand, sword in the other. That was a Balrog moment, like. But that's all it is. I'm personally hesitantly excited, but I'm not gonna get too vested because I don't know how the game actually is besides a cinematic trailer.
I hate that. Like, give me a little bit of gameplay
Give me
footage so I
something.
can see.
Something to know what it's about, because you know what, I've seen a lot of cinematic trailers in my day, and
I was gonna
they
say, speaking of Sony, right? Remember when they had their issues with they were showing PC footage.
yeah
They're like, oh yeah, there's actual gameplay. Yeah, for PC.
yeah
Like, show
it's
us what it looks
running
like
on
console,
PC.
dickhead.
Yeah let us see what it's running on your console that caps at 30
Right.
frames per
We're running
second.
it on a $5,000 computer
Yeah.
with 4G,
Yeah.
4K, and ray tracing.
Yeah, exactly. 4K ray tracing, 240 frames per second. Yeah, if we actually ran this on the PS4, it's like 30 frames. Sorry, guys.
Uh,
Gotta
Yeah,
love it.
I'm a
we're
little
young,
hesitant on that
Come
one.
on.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because I am a huge RPG for person. I love Elder Scrolls. I love all of that. I
Dude.
would love a new Elder Scrolls IP style thing. I would love to play that.
How excited I was about, you know, like ESO
Mhm.
coming out, because my thought was, how sick would it be if you had, because I've always liked playing a support class in
Mhm.
any RPG, and so when I made a priest in Skyrim, I was like, I would have so much more fun if I had a guy that was tanking and I could just sit back,
Yeah, somebody
you
to
know,
actually
and
play with.
cast heals. Yeah. And so I thought, oh, Elder Scrolls Online, that's what it's going to be. I would love for there to be a Skyrim styled RPG. And that's, if that's what that is and it's co-op, I would be 100% for it.
Oh, yeah.
Same, 110%. Like, I need more information. It
Like
just
Dragon Age even, like I would love that to be, you know,
It's the age
Co-op
of
style.
co-op. We all want to play with
we
our
yeah
friends.
we
don't wanna
all want to play
by
with friends
ourselves.
or play with
make the
community.
parties, especially in something like that, like at least 6,
Mhm.
not just 4.
So I'm hearing about the same kind of emphasis all the way around.
Yeah.
Hopefully optimistic is the way I would put myself, but like optimistic. But
Yeah,
I
without,
need
like
more
you said,
info.
Without actual gameplay footage, I can't. Make
I can't
make a decision.
yeah, I can't say whether it's a buy or not buy, anything like that. Like I need more
I
info.
am prepared for disappointment.
Yes,
Right.
yes, or hesitantly optimistic. There we go. That's the better.
Usually
Hesitantly
games
optimistic.
that have great cinematics.
Oh, they look like trash.
Yeah.
Right.
Except
like-
for the Old Republic, because the
Okay.
MMO from
That's
the
fair.
Star Wars, the Old Republic, those cinematics should have been a movie, and that game itself was probably the best, in my opinion, story building MMO that has ever existed. Like, for your individual character was just amazing. The lore that you made as your character was just that story wise was the best. That's better than WoW. WoW is still the supreme MMO, but story wise.
Oh, I played EverQuest for 15 years. So.
Oh well, yeah, I would still take it over EverQuest, and I started with EverQuest. We talked this like we get. I could call D up really quick. We could all talk about this shit. I started with EverQuest. We've talked about this plenty. I think the Old Republic is the best story for your character. You can have the same exact character me and you can play the same character, one different choice or something like that, and just totally different narrative. And it's nice to actually draw you in story-wise. The gameplay, whatever, end game, all that kind of stuff, better or worse than WoW, that could all be arguable. But I think story-wise, it's...
They make the game more playable that way, because that's why I quit playing WoW. I quit playing EverQuest. I quit playing Final Fantasy Online, because you would build your character and then you pigeonholed and then you were stuck with them.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, I'm just... All right, I've been doing the same thing for 17 million years. Yeah, it's... Yay, MMO life. After Avowed, which was the RPG... As Dusk Falls, which is a new kind of IP game from Interior Night, new studio. Interactive drama. It has a very unique art style. I'll load it up here, muted as we're talking about it. Oh my god, it's so pain in the ass. I have to keep redoing the like age thing. Focuses on how mistakes of one generation pass on to the next, and how two families trapped in a hostage situation grow over the subsequent decades. So it's another one of those that, like with the, Life is Strange. Tell me why. Yeah, it was like the Life is Strange game. It's another one, and like I said, this whole show was broken up very well, I think, and then it kind of balanced out like action games to... hey, we're gonna have a wide range of games on Series X, on the Series X, which I think they did well. But this is still another narrative game. Art style, interesting. This is all like they showed before this. They showed the character models, how they drew on it, and how they modeled the characters, and the artist drawing and incorporating it into the game during the show. Interesting. Me personally, not my style. Like I think this one is a little more out of my range. Like Life is Strange, I didn't mind. This one, from what I saw, but it's a psychological broaching, feels
it's like a
good
3D comic book.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, 3D comic book. But the art is beautiful. I would play it probably just for the art. I'm an artist, so this tickles my fancy. But this, I think, for especially like the younger viewer base, they're not going to want to play this. This is for the older base.
Yeah. For the art base, like you said.
This, but have you ever seen those apps like on your phone where it's like, try to get a date, like those like dating games where it's like, can you get the girl of your dreams?
Oh yeah, like the one like dry. I know what you're talking about.
That's what that reminds me of. Like,
well, I mean, they showed during
reminds me of a webcomic. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I know. It's a webcomic. But I mean, they showed before the actual trailer for the game. They did show a little bit during the presentation about the actual like artist and then the models there and them actually drawing on it. And it's really cool to like kind of see. Like I might like check it out just to like do that. But I personally probably wouldn't play it. That would be something that I would probably watch. On the other side, I would watch Took play it and then be like, all right, cool, but I don't know if I would play it personally myself. I think the art is a little bit more of an appeal here, even more than the story. But they're definitely, this is 100% a piece of art more than a game. This is an example 100%. Of that, So this is one I watch and don't play. Took plays.
I'll play it for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Like I'll watch.
Art for you.
I'll watch you play it, and yeah, exactly. And I'll sit there and be like, all right, cool, and I'll just sit there and drink and watch it. Shredder?
No.
All right. Oh, there you go. That's it. But I did like the art about it.
It looks interesting. I'm not a fan of that kind of.
And the thing.
That's a game that's really not for everybody. It's for a certain. It's for me. It's for the artist to go, ooh, that's pretty.
That's it. And that's even how they build it during the show. Like, they definitely piled on, like, hey, if you're looking for the more artsy, sounds bad, but I don't know how else to describe it. If you're looking for that more artsy experience.
Comic book artsy.
Yeah, like that's they were appealing even during the show. Like they piled on the fact that these are artists designing this. They took the time to really incorporate their sketches into the game. Like they piled that on during the show, and
like I could see that being more of what we were talking about earlier, kind of like a YouTube show, like like a YouTube short or something.
Yeah.
like a video I could watch, and like I
Or
don't
a
really.
game you would play on your phone, where
Yeah.
you could just
Right.
go take your decisions and stuff.
Right. Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, webcomic-y, whatever you want to kind of call it. But I mean, could be
Right,
could be
yeah.
interesting when it comes out. I mean, that's one that I personally will watch
I
unless.
mean, shit, it might be. I was gonna say I might watch it and maybe it'll catch my fancy then, but off of that, like I can't stand stuff where it's like the scene where she's walking through the woods to the house and it's like she's here, now she's here, and now she's here. Like why not just why can't we just have it one fluid motion? Like,
Yeah, but yeah, that's the
But I get
animation.
that.
So yeah, it's all
Yeah, no, I get
sketched
it, I
out.
get it.
Yeah, and that's the difference. That's all of it.
right.
They also talked a little bit next about Hellblade 2, Senua's Sacrifice Hellblade 2. They didn't really show anything of the game. They just showed hey, we're setting this in Iceland. Here are the areas that we took images from. I was kind of like...
Growly faces. There were a lot of growly faces.
Yeah, like, I was just like... They showed it, and... I was just like, okay, so you're not actually showing us... Okay, you're making the game, and it's set in Iceland, and then you showed us pictures of Iceland that you got inspired from.
Oh God, we have to have something done. We don't have anything done.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Like, oh, you could go to the website.
That sounds like, oh shit, my project's due tomorrow. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, like that's literally what it was. I was sitting there and I was like, all right, so you're not actually showing us anything about the game. You're literally just going, hey, here's where our inspiration came from for the new game. You could check out this video about, and I'm like, I've been to Iceland, so I was like, oh yeah, cool. That's how it looks. Yeah. But that doesn't
say, like maybe somebody that's like interested in Iceland would be like, oh, this is pretty
yeah,
dope.
like yeah, but I mean that's all. It had nothing to do with the game. It was just like here's the area that inspired the art style and the visuals of the new game. Okay,
that's weird to me.
That's yeah. I was just
huge
like
distraction for me was when the guy was talking and they have like the sword and like all this Celtic stuff, and then he had like Jordans on the top. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. I
why?
was just like yeah. Somebody I remember watching it, and somebody actually in my chat when we
Wait,
were
what?
watching it live. Yeah, they talked about it during the show. They were like somebody. It was either mine or Undercard's chat. They were like, oh, are those like Jordans there? Like yeah. I was like okay. Like you do you,
Way
bro.
to disconnect.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're obviously trying to build a vibe here, but then you got the Jordan sitting up there. Like, I remember somebody pointing that out.
Actually, now I'm definitely getting it.
But I mean, it's a great game. But yeah, that was definitely one of those like in the trail. It wasn't even a trailer. There was nothing to show there, guys. Like they just, yeah, it was
totally
like.
hype.
Yeah, it was like, oh hey, Hellblade.
I loved
Hellblade 2.
the first one.
Was great.
Yeah, and I say it's like, hey guys, we're gonna talk about Hellblade 2, and then like you said, they probably were like, fuck, we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah,
Crashed. Abort.
Yeah. Here, let's just this is where it's set. Here's the setting. Go look at they did it pretty much they did an advertisement for go visit Iceland tourism. Like that's what that was. Like here, look, it's pretty. Go visit Iceland. That's what that whole trailer was. After that though, we did move into goodness that I was excited about. One of the two things that I was really excited about. Officially, Double Fine back with Psychonauts 2. Wait, that's 4. 2. There we go. Long-awaited sequel to Psychonauts, which if you guys never played it, absolutely amazing. Way back. Oh, dude, Psychonauts was great.
Like Scribblenauts.
I think that's a different game.
Yeah, they're totally different. Psychonauts a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of Double Fine Studios. I have always liked the humor and everything else that Double Fine brings to the game. But it's nice to finally get a sequel after over 15 years or something to this game. I don't know. I don't remember when exactly the original came out.
People talking about this a very long time ago.
Yeah, Psychonauts 1 was an Xbox game. It's been over 15 years, and we're finally getting a sequel, which, I mean, it looks better. It still has that art style, and that's another thing that we said earlier. Like, it still has the art style. I'm hoping, but, and also, they have Jack Black doing the vocals. This is him singing.
Doesn't make me buy anything.
Yeah, like, Jack Black is doing the vocals. Like, the song for it is Jack Black doing and singing, and they actually showed him beforehand. Awesome. Yeah. Which, Brutal Legend was a great game with Jack Black. But yeah, they showed that during the thing.
I haven't even thought about that game in a
really
long time.
Dude, like Brutal Legend was great. I love that game. But this, I'm not upset so much with the visuals on this one, just because this to me is more art style, you know, than like the other game, like when we said like the Life is Strange, Tell Me Why, or whatever it was. That is like, it's supposed to look real, but it just, you know, it still looks the same as 360.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Like it's on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. It's a design like Borderlands. Like, it doesn't look realistic because it's an art style. You know, it runs. This is cartoony. This is comic booky. But there are certain, just like even that, you know, there are certain parts where it runs smooth. The graphics are good. It's just the art style for it, and I'm okay with that. You know, there is a difference between the two. You could have the graphics and that. But yeah, you know, new Jack Black thing. I'm excited. I personally will be playing this hands down, 110% day one, because Psychonauts was great. Platformer action kind of game. I don't know how to describe it for you, Shredder. Mario. I don't know, like, you know, one of those kind of like.
It looks neat.
Yeah, I say
I
it's
will give it that.
like, I don't know what. There's not many games like this nowadays that are like this. But arcade platformer game, you know, like what was popular back in 90s and 2000s, you know, like 90s going into the first couple years of 2000s.
Crash.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Spyro, Banjo-Kazooie, one of those games where, you know, same thing. We're getting Psychonauts 2. So I was happy. So that's
cool. I like it. It looks neat. I just not for me.
Yeah, no, it was definitely
Jack Black, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about the game? It's Jack Black. I'm gonna buy it.
Yep.
I mean, take my money now.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how much he has into it besides, you know, just singing for it, but he actually, I think, because Double Fine also did Brutal Legend, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would say, so he worked with Tim Schafer in that, so that's what I thought. So that's probably why he helped them in saying that and everything. I'd love to get a new Brutal Legend. That was actually a pretty good game. But that's a must thing for me. Took, I think you said that you're getting it right, and then Shredder's, that's a watch. There we go.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that one.
That's a watch. All right. After that, they talked about Destiny 2, which is pretty cool. I might get back into playing Destiny, even though like I have a love-hate relationship with it. I've talked about it 17 million times on the show. You can go back to
playing Destiny like crazy recently.
You could go back to like.
Never played Destiny.
I've played it here and there. I have certain things that I wish it was, and I'm not going to get into it
play
because
those kinds of hyper-realistic games. They gave me heart palpitations, so I can't play them.
Got it.
So I don't play it. I need that disconnect a little bit.
Makes sense. I'm not going to get into it because I just have certain things that I wish it was that it's not. And I'll just leave it at that. Go watch pretty much any other web show or episode and you'll see me talk when we talk about Destiny, how I get into it.
On one of those.
Yeah, it's on one of them. But this is cool. So the Beyond Light expansion trailer is what's linked here. But Destiny 2 is coming to Game Pass in September, and what it includes is, if you have the Game Pass, like I said, that's the biggest winner from all this. All of the expansions and everything are going to be included on the Game Pass. So that's really nice. So if you are a Destiny person, and if you have bought it before, I think you get extra goodness if you do own it. But Beyond Light, the new DLC expansion that's coming out, is going to be on Game Pass with no extra cost. So everything, all of Destiny 2 is pretty much expansion. Everything is going to be free to play if you have Game Pass come September or November when the other part of it, the other expansion, goes live. So that was the biggest thing about that. They just showed gameplay from it. That's the biggest thing, is if you like Destiny 2 or if you want to try it and you're a Game Pass person, there you go. It's quote unquote free. So I was actually looking at getting back into it and playing it a little bit with like Undercard and all that. I restarted because there's actually a decent Destiny 2 community on like Twitch and everything else.
I will run through. I can delete my Titan.
I haven't played since a month after Destiny 2 launched.
I have my Hunter and my Warlock completely maxed, like ready for this new expansion, but my Titan, not so much.
Yeah, I have not played. I played up until like a month. I played until Vault of Glass came out. I did Vault of Glass, the first raid. But then after that, I stopped because I didn't have people to run it with. But as I say, it's cool that I think Game Pass is getting a pretty solid, even though like I have my love-hate relationship for it. This is a pretty big IP that they are bringing again into the Game Pass fold, just like Gears of War, just like Halo. Like it's all included on Game Pass, so it just brings more, you know, backing to Game Pass and how strong it is as a subscription service. You know, better than a lot of the other ones out there that include.
The trash.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Destiny, get it, play it. I don't know if that's like a buy not buy because that's just really just them talking about that. So I don't know if that's a play.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
play, not
yeah,
play.
that's a
Yeah, because it comes with the Game Pass anyway, so
Yeah.
people are just gonna play it.
yeah. Stalker 2. They did an announcement trailer for that. PC only series for a long time. Stalker series finally coming to console with its sequel of Stalker 2. It's a post-apocalyptic shooter, similar to like Metro, if you guys ever saw that. Same kind of thing, Russian kind of horror tone. The announcement trailer didn't really show much gameplay. It did a little bit. That's another one of those for me that I'm hesitant about. I'll probably play it depending, but I have to wait to see more from it. You know, it was more just kind of like not quite a teaser trailer, but just a little bit more information about it would be nice. But I did play the original Stalker a while ago. It's been a minute since I played it, so but if you like that kind of thing, it's very Metro like if you guys ever played that. So same kind of speed. So Shredder, did you play Stalker?
Metro.
Yeah.
I didn't. I've never played Stalker. I think I saw it and I didn't like the way it looked. There was just something about it at the time that I was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's the same.
It's always a game I wanted to check out.
Yeah, it's one of those like if you have the time, like check it out. This one maybe we'll see. Same kind of thing. I'll add it into the list of games when I have that down day. We'll check it out personally.
It looks spooky. I like spooky things. That's probably about the only reason I would probably play it.
And that's that same like to me it just feels like it's Metro but not. That's the one thing I always took from it. Like Metro had that same vibe in parts. It's like all right, this is Metro but not Metro. And I feel like Metro has been around a lot longer and I've played all of them. So all right, I'm playing.
I definitely would
Metro.
not buy it, but I would play it on the Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. I'll play it on Game Pass. This is one of those like a down day, whatever. We'll check it out. We'll play it, and there we go. Warhammer 40K. Always excited to see that because I'm a former tabletop person. I'm always disappointed because I am a former tabletop person, and Warhammer 40K is never as fun in video game form as it is on tabletop. But Warhammer 40K Darktide was announced. Kind of a cool little video. I'll load this up here and do that. 4-player co-op game set in the hive world of Tertium. I can't remember. Oh, there's a took that left. Players have to work together to survive the hordes of enemies that assault them in the darkness of the far future when it launches 2021. Trailer features 4 Imperial guardsmen bumping into a room packed with poxwalkers. Sobil Astra Militarum versus Grandfather Nurgle. I was sitting there like when I was watching it, I was like, hey, Space Marines, and I was excited because I was like, I recognize this, I know what this is. So god damn it, I muted as I was talking and then it went away. The only thing, this is another one of those, just cinematic trailer, not exactly sure how gameplay is going to be, and I've always been disappointed with the Warhammer games at the end of the day. I would love one of them to be great. Don't get me wrong. I really want them to be good because of my tabletop backings, but this obviously is not gameplay, so we'll see. But it's 4-player co-op from what I've seen. I don't know if it's top down. I don't know. It looks like it might be first person, like from the cinematic. Wait, who knows? Like I really don't know about gameplay. But hey, it's Space Marines, Ultramarines against.
It's always tough for me, man. Like, because like I said, you can make any game look fantastic with a good cinematic trailer.
Yep.
Running it on like the highest rate PC too.
Yeah.
Right.
So, announcement for that. don't actually know what the game is going to be like, realistically.
They didn't
So
really release much on it.
yeah, it's very, it's Warhammer. It's in the Warhammer universe. Like I said, I'm consistently disappointed in Warhammer games just because I miss playing the tabletop. That's really
It never
it.
is good.
Yeah. After that, Tetris Effect connected.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Tetris is coming to Xbox. So it was competitive Tetris, essentially, like multiplayer Tetris, kind of like the Tetris BR is what I imagine, is whatever. It's not the same exact thing, but Tetris Effect connected, enhanced version of with new co-op and competitive multiplayer modes, playable both online and locally. So if you want to play Tetris with friends,
My grandma.
yeah.
I want to play I wouldn't mind playing Tetris.
I want a Dr. Mario fucking remaster. All right,
But
forget
I'm not
Tetris.
sitting here being like, I want to be better than you at Tetris.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
why can't I
I'll
just
play
play?
drunk with my family.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stream it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not. There are some people that do like the Tetris BR though, and fucking play that shit. I don't know.
Well, it's like all these games now, they have like Bejeweled, but it's like Avengers. Where
Yeah.
it's like you get the matches, and the more matches you get, the more damage you do to somebody else. Like, it's like, why are we taking these games and turning them into like super sweat?
I don't need a strategy game with my relaxing Tetris game. Thank you.
Right.
Yep.
Just let me enjoy Bejeweled. I'll just go play Classic.
Yeah. I have it installed on my computer.
But we put Avengers on it. It's
Yeah,
way
but yeah,
better
now it looks so much better.
You can do damage to somebody and call them a noob.
Yeah, and then it's just like a little screen thing. It's like, oh, you connected 5, so you did 20 damage. It's like,
Right.
Hulk
okay,
smash.
yeah,
But no, they're blue ones, so you do
yeah.
water damage to this
yeah,
person.
like weird, yeah. After that huge Tetris announcement, they had the Gunk is actually literally the name of it. SteamWorld creators Image and Form have a new 3D action adventure. Kind of like steampunkish a little bit for it. The main adversary, these guys, I thought it was like No Man's Sky or something like that. And when they were first talking about it, and it looks that with a little bit of steampunk, like No Man's Sky mixed with that. It seems like the bad kind of character. They're exploring a new planet, and the bad person is the Gunk. They obviously reached way out there to get the name of the game. Really thought about it for all of like 10 seconds to figure that out. But puzzle exploration kind of game. I mean, it's free on Game Pass for me. That's one of those that's just like,
Really disappointed in the art style.
Yeah, it looks
It's kind of just bleh.
Yeah, little.
So I'm probably not going to play it. It just, I kind of want my puzzle games to look kind of nice, and it kind of just looks like they phoned in the graphics and the art style. So that's a pass on me.
Shredded Jew.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, I like No Man's Sky where it is now. I didn't like No Man's Sky where it was.
I was just saying, like, yeah, like the art style, like, kind of just remind me because you're like exploring a planet and then it does this, that, or whatever.
Okay,
like
got you.
that's
So
where
it's
I got
not-
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll check it out.
It's one of those that maybe I'll check out if I have an off week and I'm tired of playing whatever else is out for me. Also, it's called the Gunk. Like, really? That's literally the best name you could get for this. All right.
Oh, dude, I'm playing this dope game. What's it called? The Gunk. What's it about? I don't know.
Gunk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Between
It
my
sounds like a Nickelodeon like game or something.
Yeah, I don't know. The next one I am really excited about that they did, and I will load this bad boy up here as they're doing it, which was after Gunk, which was kind of a meh release, was Medium, which I'm really excited for. This is kind of right in my alley. I thought it had that like Control vibe mixed with like that psychological like kind of thing a little bit. Really, definitely my speed, 110%. I can talk. So I'll talk about this. I do it. So one of the coolest things about it, in my opinion, is that it looks like it constantly renders the two different worlds. So you're this medium character, and it looks like, so as you're going, and it even talks about it, it's like, okay, 2 worlds rendered. So I think that you're going to be able to like press a button and have it show whether you're like in the hell nightmare world or real life world. Because you're like a medium in that, and they'll show this here in a second. And you'll get like clues puzzle wise, or you'll be actually able to see or not see enemies depending on whether you're in hell or not. Because they could be there, but you don't see them if you're in the normal world, or vice versa, and you know, other shit. I don't know. Like it very much reminded me control wise. This is definitely one that I am 100% excited about. Just because I love my control style games. And psychological fuck with them, you know. Get inside your head and just fuck with you. And it's still the same kind of thing. It has a little bit of like story, whatever, you're traveling. But you know, they actually show gameplay, and like when it changes, I don't know. This one I am very optimistic for.
That's Chernobyl, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
History major here. That's Chernobyl.
Yeah, dual reality gameplay, 2 worlds rendered simultaneously. So I love that. Like she's going around there, and then like in one side you have all the skulls that you can see, and the other side like it's just like a wall. And I feel like that's going to play into puzzles. It's going to play into everything.
Definitely very unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an enemy there, but then there's not an enemy if you're in the normal side of things.
Like Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So it's Stranger Things kind of thing. Yeah.
Stranger Things game.
Yeah, I could see that. I actually, so this is one of the things I took, and I actually questioned this during when it was live. I'm very curious why it says your fingers are going to be all right. Like, I'm like, what is that? Like, that's just a random like thing to be on the wall. Like, I don't know where that plays into the game, and who like random hobo like wrote that on the wall in this abandoned place, but that's just a complete random message. But even like you can look at the character, like how they represent or how they look in the 2 different visual settings, whether they're I just keep calling it hell because that's what it is, like nightmare or whatever. I don't know what the actual name is or whatever, but it's like hell or not, the upside down or not, as Shredder said. You know, it's the same kind of concept. So like, and I feel like, hey,
I mean,
you're
there's like one side she has black hair, the other side she has white hair.
yeah.
And a frizzy arm.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And a shiny little.
I didn't even notice that. One side you have superpowers, the other side you're just a normal person.
Yeah, and you're normal. So that for me is my type of thing. That's a must buy, even though I have Game Pass. I'll be checking it out.
That looks pretty neat.
I'll play it.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. After that, Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis announced, which is coming in 2021. That's a new update, and kind of not just a new update, but a whole kind of relaunch of Phantasy Star Online, which kind of merges some of the new facets of Phantasy Star, since what got released this year was only like years 1 through 3 of Phantasy Star, even though it's been out for so long. 1 through 3 of Phantasy Star, and now this is going to kind of like catch up and give new all the new shit that it has, and also progress forward through the last couple of years, and actually bring us up into the common era and for an MMO. And I think that's kind of cool. We have this, and this is also going to be cross with PC or Xbox. You can use your characters. If you do have a PSO2 character, you can use them in the new one, and it's just going to switch your items and all that accordingly, depending on what mode you are. But it's just a way to kind of bring and catch everybody up into the new era. This is the new game. This is PSO2 in 2020 or 2021 at this point. That's pretty much what this announcement is. It's like, hey, we're getting everybody on the same page, simply put. So, console, MMO, goodness. I'll check it out because I like PSO2. So, and I always like new MMO goodness.
Release, and I was kind of disappointed because it looked like 1998.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's PSO2. Like, and I know, but I 100% get it. Like, I know what you're talking about. It is, but I'm used to it because I know that PSO2, like, it has that art style, like Phantasy Star and that. So it's not 110% like groundbreaking. It definitely looks a little bit better. But I haven't checked out. I haven't played PSO, and Crimson is one of those that has. So I don't know how well it compares to the current rendition of it on Xbox since it brought over to the Americas. But it definitely is. I don't know. It's Sega. It's PSO that I remember. Like it is exactly. It just hopefully like looks and runs better. I don't know why this video is looking like shit right now, because this is not how it was streamed. I could actually like read it. This is like fucking 20 frames right now.
I hope this is how it looks. I really am, because I could not play when they released it on the Xbox. I couldn't. Like, this looks like EverQuest when I first started playing. I can't play this.
Yeah. It's I mean, I don't know. Crimson would probably know a little bit more in comparison to whether it's better or worse than the engine that's currently out now. It's, I don't know. I'm excited because I always liked it. I want to play it, and that would be a fun sci-fi MMO because we don't really have as many of those these days. So, and also crossplay and everything else, and you battle giant mechs and you have swords and guns, and I don't know. It's bringing it up into, you know, 21st century and then some, and I like that. You know, they're bringing it, even though PSO has been out for like 8 years. Now they're like, hey, you guys have had this for a minute. Let's get it 110% into 2021. Let's get all the new content. You guys are good to go, and move it from there. So I'll be checking it out.
I'll watch you check it out.
Yeah, I would say like
I'll be checking it out. It's an MMO. Of course, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like my thing. It's like I miss playing MMOs. I'll be, especially since it's fucking free for Game Pass. I'll be playing it.
Crossplay and free. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. After that, Crossfire was the last official thing announced. Didn't really, it was a cinematic trailer. So I'll pull this up. One of the things I did notice, so previously PC only series comes to Xbox in 2020 as Crossfire X. Game Showcase offers cinematic trailer for the campaign, which is developed by Control and Alan Wake Studio Remedy, which I love. Remedy. I absolutely adore Remedy. I love Control. I love Alan Wake. I will love anything that they do. That being said, I don't know if it's going to load up the better quality here. This video, I don't know if it's going to show up for this. When it loaded, the single-player campaign that they're showing is not included on Game Pass. So there was a little asterisk. If you noticed during the thing, the multiplayer is included on Game Pass. So this is one of the only things during the show that is like all of these are included in Game Pass. They're all included. But actually what's shown here is the story mode, which is not included on Game Pass. It's just multiplayer. Which is kind of...
That's weird.
Yeah, I really... That's like...
No.
Yeah. So it's not really... what you're showing is not really included in Game Pass.
This is what COD they released. They're like, oh,
They're
we
like,
released COD.
you
And
could
look,
have
here's
this.
this Battle Royale now.
Yep. So, but it does look awesome. I'll probably play the multiplayer for free and then maybe get this. But this is one of those, like, this is one of those that you actually have to buy or not buy, because the single player, we'll see. The only reason I might buy it, it looks cool. Like, there's a lot of cool things that I've seen about this game back and forth. Like, there's time slow things, like, kind of has like a Max Payne feel. Other things, like I said, I love Remedy. So if they're applying their storytelling from Alan Wake and Control and things like that to the storytelling of this game, I will 110% buy in, and it will be great. I don't know, you know, but they are the ones that are developing the story single player campaign of the game. So I might have to check it out. I might have to pay that extra to get it because I love Remedy so much. That's me though. I don't think Shredder, did you even ever play Remedy or no? Or
No,
not Remedy,
no.
Control?
Oh, I played Control. Yeah.
I love that game. game. I love Alan Wake. I love Control all so
No,
much.
Control is a lot of fun. I do like games like you were saying, like Max Payne, you know, when you can like freeze time and shit like that.
Like it seems to have those kind of elements, like where it slows time and shit like that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean anything like that's pretty cool. I like controlling physics in games. You know, make situations happen that you want to happen. Like I think one of my favorite parts of when we were playing Control, you and I kind of were playing it at the same time. And you and I had the same kind of like play style. Like, I'm going to grab this chair and throw it. I don't have to.
Fuck yeah. But I'm going to do it because I can. Hold that chair.
Right.
Dude, I fucking loved it. Took, did you play Control or any like that?
I never played any of those.
Fucking great. Let's do it.
I'll probably play the multiplayer because most of the people I play with will probably play the multiplayer.
Actually,
Don't know if I'll get the single player.
If you have not played Alan Wake, I think I did see something that Alan Wake is going to be on Game Pass. I don't quote me on it.
It's on Game Pass. I'll play it.
If like I think,
yeah, Alan Wake's a good
dude.
game.
I mean, it's classic. Like Alan Wake 1 and 2. Like it's same.
Yeah.
Yep. It's actually okay. It looks like it's out now. Yep. Alan Wake 1. I mean, this was released originally.
It's old. Like
high school, it's gotta be. It's at least 10 years old.
It's originally Xbox 360, right?
I think it was original Xbox, the first one. I think Alan Wake 2 was 360.
No way it was Alan Wake.
I think 2 was 360.
Xbox.
I'm gonna.
It says Alan Wake was 360.
Okay, maybe it was the beginning or years.
2010.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Okay, maybe it was a little newer, but it's still 10 years. All right, so. I was thinking it was more like 12 years, but yeah, fucking amazing. Anyways, I don't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, that Alan Wake is on Game Pass. Shit, and I thought I saw something about that, so I might have to replay that and do that on stream one day because I loved those games, the storytelling, everything, 110% worth it. Last thing they announced, their little teaser trailer at the end was the one thing that I was waiting for the whole time. And I told Undercard that it's gonna happen. And everybody else and nobody, like, some people believe me. I was just like, it's going to be Fable. They're going to end with Fable. Like, it's going to be a Fable announcement. And then finally, at the very end, Fable announcement happened. Literally, all we know is that Fable is coming out. They're relaunching Fable. That's all we know. There's literally no other information about it, one way or the other. But they're relaunching Fable.
I've always loved Fable.
Same. I will get it no matter when. It could be 3 years from now. I don't know when it's coming out. It could be 3 years from now, but we'll see.
Xbox, but I have watched people play it, so.
Oh, dude, it's
the reason
so
Fable was such like a big deal to me was because that was like the first game ever where it was like, you know, you kill this chicken, now you got like this evil shit on you, you know, and you're like, wait, what? You know, your decisions actually.
Yeah, it was one of the ones that I think more mainstream wise had an effect. You had that in other games, but it was one of the ones that, especially on console, that really.
Not enough to where like NPCs recognized it.
Yeah. It was one of the ones that really brought that forward.
The fact that you could be walking down the street and like you're this like good guy and people would be like, oh, look how handsome. But if you were doing like just a bunch of negative shit,
and you would grow
like, spitting
horns and shit,
it was
like
literally you're writing your story.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
like, that's how your character was.
It was it defined, it helped define a genre, especially that wasn't apparent on console. So there were games that, you know, you could say, you know, maybe define this or help define it also on like PC and all, but especially on console, this one really built it. So I'm really excited, but there is no date, no gameplay, no nothing. It's literally just an announcement teaser trailer saying, hey, this is happening. So I'm fucking excited though for it.
Me too.
I can't fucking wait. Shredder took. We're all excited. That I was happy that they ended on that. Definitely worth it. I can't wait to hear more information about it as well.
Yeah, no, that's one thing though that scared like I said, it always scares me when companies are like, we're gonna bring this back, and it's like, don't fuck it up.
1 minute trailer.
Please.
It's pretty.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 1 minute trailer. It's pretty. It's not in-game footage, anything like that. It's I don't see us getting Fable at least until winter of next year.
I want them to take their time.
Yeah,
I
like
want them to do it right.
I think this is
Right.
100% just, hey, we're working on it. We might get gameplay footage next year at E3 or something like that. I don't see this being a thing that is, actually out anytime in the near future. But it's like I said.
Oh no, but they're putting it in people's minds.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what
They're
that's,
the
all that's going
announcement.
to do is it's going to make people go back and play the originals. And
Yep. Oh yeah, people were playing it tonight on my friends list on Twitch and all that, like Fable Anniversary and
Is
all
it
that. Like
on
Cooley
Game
was.
Pass?
Well, the new one will be. I don't know if the old ones are. I can look right now. Hold on. Well, I don't know about PC wise. Hold on. Fable, because I still have it up. Nope, it's not on PC. It'll probably. I think it might be on the Xbox, but not on the PC one.
Okay.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I think this whole expose, the whole show, when it's all said and done, biggest winner. There were a couple good things, a couple bad things that I think some of us are just kind of like meh. At the end of the day, the winners, the best part is everything's on Game Pass. It makes it worth it. Even if you only like 2 or 3 of these games, that $15 a month, I think, is the best subscription service that is on the market right now. Hands down. Like
you said, it pays for itself in 2 seconds.
Yeah. You play Gears, you play Halo, even if 1 or 2 of these games, any of these, even if some of them aren't the $60 games, but like Halo, Gears that came out before, all of these, you play one of those every 4 months, you're even. You broke even on it. And then you get all those other games also. So
that's good for people who don't have the money to be buying 3 $60 games a month.
Yeah.
You can pay $15.
Yeah, exactly.
And then get all the games.
Dead by Daylight. We just talked about Alan Wake, classic games, newer games. Carrion, I think, is on Game Pass as well. That's a newer kind of side-scroller platformer thing that just came out. They're going to check out. Grounded is something, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game. Game Pass. All of these things are there.
I'm definitely going to check that out later, I think.
Yeah, all of these are in Game Pass. It's 110% worth it. And I don't even work for Microsoft anymore. And I still say that. Although I still appreciate their giving us Game Pass for a little bit, as long as that doesn't end. But it's really the best on the market, in my opinion. And that's, I think, the biggest takeaway from this whole show is that everything, if you have Game Pass, it is going to be available to you for free with your subscription. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's what won it for me. Everything that we talked about. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Any other closing remarks? Anything else?
Nope.
No.
Shredder? Good?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I think what they're doing is really good, especially like we were saying, $15 a month, especially in the time that we're living now where people are out of jobs and shit like that too. It's a big help to keep people sane, or
there's so much on
games
there
to play. Like, so many people would be so driving each other nuts.
right now. I'm just looking at the PC version. I just have it, I still have it up. So you have the Disneyland Adventures, which I've seen before, but the Flight Simulator, we've talked about that's on there. I'm just looking at they just have a random things right now. Wasteland 3. Oh, I cannot wait until it comes out. Wait, is it out?
Wasteland 3, I thought was already out.
Did it come out? Wait, what fucking day is it? I thought this came out next month. Oh, god damn it. I'm going to have to play this shit.
No, I thought it was already out.
I thought it came out next month. Oh my god. All right, well, we know what we're playing tomorrow night, guys. We're playing Wasteland 3. I thought it came out next month. For some odd reason, I thought it came out next month. I thought it came out like August 29th or something like that. I was so excited. All right, cool. Well, we know what we're playing tomorrow night. Wasteland 3, for all you guys that don't know, is like an old school, it's designed in the same style as the old school Fallout, as an old school Fallout person. Hence why I have tattoos and everything. I grew up playing the original ones. Yeah, it's that same kind of top-down, turn-based thing. Anyways, let's just go ahead and start that installing really quick.
Turn-based games.
Yeah,
it looks cool. I can't personally play it.
Dude, I love it. But I love, it's also the story side of it,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so much for $15 a month. It's totally.
What's the futuristic styled Wasteland type game? There's one where it's in space or kind of robotic like.
No idea.
Oh
no
god,
idea.
I played it for a little bit. It was when I first had come onto Mixer. It was a big everyone was having fun with it because what I did was I named all the characters after people in chat, you know. And then like if someone missed a crit shot, we would make fun of them.
The only one I could think of would be like XCOM, but that's been about for years.
Nope, that's it.
XCOM like if I was just so when XCOM 2 came out, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say XCOM I played for years. XCOM doesn't have nearly as much story though as like Fallout and that kind of shit.
No, but it was fun because you can customize like each person. So like what we did is
It's
like subscribers got their own character and shit like that.
So cool. Awesome. Well, I'll be playing that tomorrow. But yeah, no, Game Pass definitely the biggest winner there. Like I said, guys, if you're joining in at the end or anything, or if you've been here the whole time, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're joining in at the end, of course, talked about Valorant, a couple other things. I'll have the video up. I can't post it until Friday because of Twitch rules, but you can check out the VOD as well. But YouTube link is there in chat as well. Make sure you're showing love to these lovely people. I don't know if it's going to pop up. Hey, it did pop up. Cool. I got to point that way. We'll go around really quick. Shredder, since you haven't been on in a while, where can everybody find you and when can they find you?
I stream, well, right now my schedule's screwed up because
we stayed up for 14 hours playing a game last night.
Not only that, but like I stream based off of my girlfriend's work schedule, so the days that she's off I don't stream, and they just redid her schedule, so it's hit or miss. But I usually start at noon Pacific Standard Time, so
got it.
And I'm always on here. I don't have a YouTube or anything like that. I'm on Twitch.
There you go.
Only.
Well, Shredder OG, the Shredder OG on Twitch, Shredder OG, and then the Shredder OG on Instagram.
And
also.
I play everything.
Yeah,
from
he plays
BRs
everything.
to story-based games to roguelites to anything that catches my attention. Like this whole time during this web show, I've been playing Gunfire.
Way to devote your whole attention to us, cocksucker. Anyways, Took, where can everybody and where can they find you as well?
I have Twitter, I have Instagram. I stream on Twitch 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Time every day but Monday and Wednesday. I play Sims, I play Borderlands, I play Valorant. I play whatever tickles my fancy that day.
Right.
And also very art forward and all that, like we mentioned a couple times tonight.
I do all my old graphics and stuff. So.
Yeah, so if you guys enjoy that kind of stuff, so definitely go check her out. That's really about it. I don't see anything in the Discord either, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up really quick, and then we'll go down doing whatever. So thank you everybody in chat and everybody around. I appreciate you. Like I said, VOD will be available, and then on YouTube side of everything, of course, that'll be up on Friday because I have to wait till I can upload VOD type stuff and all that with the rules at least 24 hours. So that'll be up on Friday as well. If you guys want to check that out on the YouTube, it is there in the chat. So love you guys, long time. Thank you so much for hanging out. And thank you again to Took and Shredder for being here tonight. Thank you, Shredder, for filling in for Charlie for filling that
I'm gonna get
spot.
back into these. It was weird on Mixer because I had mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, so all right.
Well, not this, but Mixer.
Yeah, oh no, I get you. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Chat, love you. I'm going to end the recording. Everybody wave and say goodbye. Bye, chat. Bye, everybody. Bye, YouTube. Love you long time.